Welcome to the Executive's View, the sports podcast where the stakes are high and the debates are fierce. Please welcome your host, Aaron Sirius Simmons, alongside co-host Barry DeVille Jordan. Each week, we bring you into the boardroom where the elite minds of sports converge. From the gridiron strategies to the business behind the ball, we tackle the hard-hitting questions and give you an insider's perspective. So pull up a chair and join us at the table where champions are made and legends are born. This is the Executive's View. Let's get down to business.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Executive's View. This is the view from on top, man. You could be anywhere in the world on a Tuesday night, but you're here with the executives, and I do appreciate that, man. You guys know how I get started, man. If you see the show, share the show, man. We all over the place, all over social media, Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok, Spotify, right here on YouTube, man. We're doing big things in big places, man, and I want you guys to take us along with you wherever you may go, man. I got a full house, man. I got a bunch of brothers that are ready to talk stuff and talk their stuff today, man. My co-host is in the building, man. Barry DeVille Jordan. What's going on, my guy? How we doing this evening, sir?
Villain, I want everybody to feel me with no hands. It's a beautiful day, man. We out here doing the thing, about to talk some sports. Let's go, man. I'm ready to go.
Yeah, man. I mean, here's the thing. Like, I am glad that you are in a good mood. I really am glad that you were in a good mood, man. Your football teams is doing some. I'm glad you in a good mood. I'm gonna leave it at that. Man. I got Larry in the.
I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this today. Raindrops keep falling on my head, but nothing's worrying me, man. Y'all ain't gotta get me upset.
In your defense, I mean, Roman did finally start to, we'll leave wrestling alone. We'll talk wrestling another time. Larry's in the building, man. What's going on, my guy? How we doing, sir?
Oh, man, I'm doing good, brother. I mean, another week of Justin Fields starting for your I'm gonna go there. Hey, but it's all good, brother. Hey, I know it might get a little late. It might get a little late tonight, but I'm gonna just say anybody listening out today, man, just remember this. Today's National Voter Registration Day, so get your voter registration up.
Right. Yes, sir. Make sure you go register wherever you need to register. November will be here before you know it, and this election is huge, man. This election is huge. I got CK back in the building. You know what I'm saying? Good to see you, sir. How we doing this evening?
I'm all right. How's everybody doing?
Good to see you, man. Good to see you, man. Good to see you.
We got to get back being man. This is weird. This is hella weird.
You know what? I mean,
I don't even know how to act.
Right. He all somber and quiet, but man, sometimes health reasons cause you to kind of lay low for a minute. So we're just glad he's in the building. You know what I'm saying? We're glad he's in the building.
Definitely appreciate that.
Coach, what's going on, my guy? How we doing, sir?
I'm doing all right. Can't complain. I have some breaking news. I shared in the chat over the weekend. My time at Purdue has come to an end. What we did at Purdue was historic. You know, we turned Purdue football into a program. 14 years, 11 Big Ten championships, 4 national championships. I mean, Purdue football is on the map turn into a powerhouse. So now I have turned my eyes out west. I am now the coach of the University of Southern California Trojans. So I'm staying in the Big Ten, which is weird. But the LA lifestyle, man, so much better than living in West Lafayette, Indiana. And I love the good folk of West Lafayette, Indiana, but man, LA is amazing. Got a nice house on the beach, Huntington Beach, nice house out there. Just the vibe is different. USC is coming off of a couple of bad seasons, and they turned to me to try to right the ship out in the land of Troy. So fight on, and there we go. Thank you very much, Aaron.
I got you, sir.
So fight on, and let's get this show started, guys.
I can't.
You know why we here at the Executives View want to send our deepest amount of congratulatory thoughts and vibes to Coach Lazar, man. Like, you gotta understand, man, being a coach in the collegiate level, it's tough. It's tough, you know what I'm saying? And he took Purdue to heights unseen. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna knock the man.
I did that.
I'm
I
not.
really did.
I'm not gonna knock the man for getting his bag, man. Like, you done paid your due. Now go live that Southern Cali lifestyle, bro. I mean, I'm happy for you, man. So shout out to you and the missus and the little one.
Yeah, man.
My only question is, when is the 30 for 30 coming out on Coach?
You know what? Don't tip me, Barry, because I will sit up here and I will write a script and I will produce a 30 for 30 on my coaching career, and I will post it on our site, and it'll probably blow up. You know, people like this guy's insane. You know what I'm saying? But like, I'm gonna work on the script for my 30 for 30.
See, man, see, Villain, you done gave a man ideas, man. Now,
it's like, what if I told you a young man from the ghetto of Houston, Texas, became the best coach of all time? You know, like.
Oh my God! But anyway, gentlemen, I'm not gonna waste anybody's time. Now we got a lot to talk about, and we need to dump right in, man. College football week number, I guess you want to call this 3, has come and gone. I wanted to kind of double tap right there where you're at, Coach Lazar. Your boys may or may not have a QB controversy on their hand. Talk to me, my guy. Texas, it doesn't matter who they play. They looking decent, man. And that Manning boy may or may not know how to throw a football, man. Talk to me about it.
I am going to put this to rest right now. There is no quarterback controversy. Quinn Ewers is the starting quarterback. He is hurt. What Texas has is probably one of the best backup quarterback situations in the country, you know, where it's like, look, let's be honest. It was fun. Watching Arch cook Saturday night was fun. It was UTSA. I love the Road Runners, Meep and all that, but it's like, it was UTSA. And then this Saturday is, you know, Monroe. You know, like, I love you. Like I said, I love my Louisiana people. Larry, you know, we love our Louisiana people, but it's like, it's UL Monroe. They shouldn't have any problems with that. The Texas Longhorns, if they're going to have any shot at winning that championship, if they are going to get done what they want to get done this year, it is going to be with Quinn Ewers at quarterback. You know, like, Arch will have his time. Like, me and my cousin go back and forth. Arch, he is the prince who was promised. Okay, but right now, Quinn is the guy. We need Quinn for Oklahoma. We need Quinn for Georgia. We're going to need Quinn down the line, you know, if this team is playoff bound. Like, Arch getting the reps is great, though, because we talked about this before the season. Quinn Ewers, he's a little fragile. He does stuff like this. Like, you know, we all knew he was going to miss a couple games, but these are the games to miss. UTSA, Monroe, probably Mississippi State. We probably won't see Quinn Ewers until, you know, Dallas. It's funny because, like, on my memories on Facebook, when he got hurt a couple years ago, I posted the same thing. I was like, as long as Quinn is okay when we play them in South Dallas, then I don't care. You know what I'm saying? But then Arch getting these reps for where, like, if Quinn gets hurt down the line when we play Vandy or whoever else, and then Arch just not coming in cold, he's getting these reps. It's best case scenario for Texas for you know, for Quinn to get these reps. I mean, for Arch to get these reps while Quinn is, like, dealing with not a season-ending injury, but an injury to where it's like, if he takes the wrong hit with an abdomen injury, it can make it worse. So let him rest, let him take his time. And I mean, it's awesome to see this situation for me, especially as a Texas fan. I mean, like, did you see Arch Manning run? Whew. I passed out when he passed midfield. I didn't even see the rest of the touchdown run. I passed out. I was too excited. I was too overstimulated. I passed out when he passed midfield. So I saw the highlights of the touchdown run after I came to, but I was just too much was going on, and I passed out when he did that juke on the corner and got past midfield. But hey, there are two kind of people. There are people who, you know, root for the number one team in the country, and people who don't. I'm the former.
Wow.
not the latter.
Wow. Oh my goodness.
I had
Larry,
to live through Charlie Strong. I had to live through
you
Tom
did.
Herman.
You know what?
Y'all are not, y'all not gonna stop this parade.
I the thing is, like, part of me like wants to wear it, dude. You lived through some stuff, and here's the thing: like, you got Mississippi State, Monroe, Oklahoma. You should be favored. This game on the 19th of October is circled. Yeah, got Georgia.
Oh yeah, I mean, and I hate when I saw the schedule. It's right after the Oklahoma game, which is I was just like, yes, it's at home, but it's right after the Oklahoma game, and I'm just like, schedule makers didn't do us any favors with that 1-2.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Then you got Vandy in Florida. So yo.
Okay. Yeah. We have Vandy. And then yeah,
you got Vandy.
You got Vandy. And then you're not gonna get me to say anything bad about Florida because, like, you know, where I sleep and my life set up. You're not gonna get me to say anything bad about Florida. So yeah.
Shout out to the missus, man. We need to get her on here one day, man. She's hilarious. But yo, Larry, talk to me, my guy, man. You want to talk Texas? You can. If you want to, popcorn anything else from week number 3 that you kind of liked or didn't like, let me know where your head's at.
I mean, Texas did their thing, and the thing that people fail to realize is that Cooper played receiver. He's not Peyton's son. He's not Eli's son. But people was like, and I hate the fact that a lot of people, down talk on Cooper, but the guy got hurt. He literally had to retire from football. You can't say he didn't pan out like his brothers did when he's hurt. He couldn't play. But when people saw Arch take out running like that, I'm like, his dad played receiver, not Peyton, who runs like a 7'5" or something. Yeah, no, he's not Eli.
Like a 7'5" statue.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, so the guy can run. But the biggest takeaway that I take away from week 1 was, and it's no disrespect to Texas, I give them some love because they're from they're UT, right? But this how fickle the voters are. You drop Georgia, even though Georgia struggled, and they won on the road versus Kentucky to number 2, but UT had I'm gonna say a softer opponent. I'm not a fan of dropping somebody from the number 1 spot because they struggle, even though they still won against a tough opponent. I'm not a fan of that. And then when you look at the overall rankings at the end of the year, they can look at it and be like, oh well, Texas was number 1 for X amount of weeks, and it kind of it convolutes the numbers, and I hate seeing that, but that Kentucky game was good. Mm-hmm. Georgia had to put they bootstraps on, and they had to go on that final drive, and they had to play defense. And the one of the takeaways that I'll take away from week 3, and you see it across all the games. And did you guys watch the Monday Night Football game last night?
I did.
And they were like, you know what? 50-yard field goals are now like chip shots.
Chip shots, yeah.
In the NFL. But if you watch the college game, you remember how bad college kickers used to be?
They used to be trash.
Yeah, it was a thing. It was like college kickers. It was a thing.
Yeah. College kickers used to be like, oh, if it's more than 40 yards, we're punting. These college kickers are actually consistently hitting 55, 53, 56-yard field goals.
Australian imports, Larry. All from Australia.
Is that, but they actually are taking this craft seriously. They are taking it. Yeah. And I will say some of it, I'll give props to like your Justin Tuckers. Yeah, they're getting like, $5 and $6 million now on these contracts. They're not getting, league minimum. You're only making $800,000 a year. They're actually making some decent money. So I guess people are taking it more seriously. But like when you watch that Kentucky game, that Kentucky kicker, he hit with I think it was like a 51 or 52, and then he hit like a 55. Like, yeah, college football actually has kickers. Barry, I'll go to the sore spot. But Florida State, the one bright side of them is they have a kicker.
They have a really good kicker.
A really good kicker who can kick.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll just touch on it. I'm gonna put it over to Barry. But Norvell, Steve said there was a for sale sign in this house. I think there's already a U-Haul truck parked in the back. For him to come out and say, "Oh, we had the toughest schedule of the first 3 weeks than anybody else," bro. I mean, we had some good teams. It was some good teams.
Be that kind of layup, like that's what we're doing,
dude. I mean, we played some good teams, but they were beatable teams. For you to come out and say that, bro, that means you already had the misses labeling the boxes. You know which ones are fragile, which ones are in the kitchen. You already, then looked on Zillow to see how much the houses in your neighborhood selling for. You already seeing the writing on the wall, man. I think he already know it's coming. It's coming. I'll punt it over. I'm done now.
Well, villain, you know what I'm saying? Talk to me. My man kind of gave you a layup, man. Go ahead and Julius running that thing.
I'm not surprised that Michigan's making a change at quarterback. They're going with the junior Alex Orji or I don't know.
Orji. Yeah, Orji. I think it's how he's like Orji. And Orji been in the news today a lot. But I mean,
well, it's like when I said it, I was like, "Damn, did he?" But I was like, "That's
right."
What I wanted to say.
Baby oil having that. Let me stop.
Yeah, I can't stop, won't stop.
You can imagine the signs coming.
Yeah, game day is gonna be filthy. Them signs gonna be filthy on game.
No, they're gonna be all blurred out. They're gonna be all blurred out.
Yeah, they coming for him. But clearly, people are listening to the executives because we talked about Warren in he's only got 2 touchdown passes and 6 interceptions. So not surprised he's going to get the start. A very big game against USC. That's a very interesting matchup. Their first Big Ten is their first official Big Ten game, right? USC.
Mm-hmm.
Of their college career. Steve's Coach Steve's team.
Mm-hmm. Fight on.
But I mean, it's so weird because this should be a Rose Bowl matchup. This used to be a Rose Bowl, and now it's like a regular season. It's weird. Mm-hmm. It's just weird to me. But we got that. Listen, honestly, I was really surprised that Georgia, like Larry said, had to really play defense in the last possession to get that game against a very game and very feisty Kentucky team. I didn't give them a much of a shot. Obviously, they were my number 5 pick for a confidence pool, which the Villains winning, by the way. And I honestly didn't give them much respect, and I apologize to them. They fought pretty hard. Notre Dame beat the brakes off of Purdue, man. That wasn't even a game. Like it was like
they must have been listening to me.
Yeah, it was realistically like Rocky IV. Like somebody threw it in the damn towel. You know what I mean? Like it was that bad. Like it got to that point. So I was really surprised with that. Obviously, the elephant in the room that Larry wanted to talk about was like Colorado. Played for. I'm not talking about Florida State. We're not doing that. You're not going to raise our blood pressure.
Yeah.
Okay? We're not doing that. No, listen, Colorado. Shedeur Sanders, got to do better, kid. Got to do better. Everybody's watching you. Like I get it. The dude was talking reckless on IG, but everybody talks reckless on IG. You got to. Everybody's watching, man. And everybody's looking.
They was talking real reckless to Colorado too. Last year game.
Listen, I understand that. I understand that, but like, there's two ways to handle it, right? You go low, they go high. All that good stuff. But you're better than them. Shedeur Sanders, you're better than them. You're going to be playing on Sunday. That kid's not going to see a whiff of Sunday unless he plays, in the spring for XFL. All right, let's be real. Let's keep it a buck. So everybody's looking for a reason to hate on you and to throw dirt on your name, and you're giving them a reason to. That's the only. Listen, would I do the same thing? Absolutely, but everybody's watching me. Everybody's watching Shedeur Sanders, so that's why I have a little issue with it. But at the end of the day, that dude was talking reckless. You know what I mean? Handle your business.
I mean, I would have did it a different way. But it's just like there's a way you could have shook his hand and then still been like, hey, but like watch your mouth.
Fuck you.
Know.
Nah. See, here's the thing. Like, I am a firm believer, gentlemen, and like the response matches.
Yeah,
I match energy. Again, if I'm gonna talk reckless to Barry, you know what I'm saying? Barry, F you some trash, blah 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 blah. When I see him, you know what I'm saying? I put up my hand to shake his hand to dap him up. If Larry Jones try to smack me, he's a bitch.
Yeah.
Let's keep it a buck. You know what I'm saying? And so I have no problem with Shedeur Sanders doing what he did. You know what I'm saying? He went out and gave what else it said, but this particular quarterback was running off at the mouth and this, that, and the third. And Shedeur made him and his team look stupid. Time again. So I mean, I see your point. Yeah, everybody's looking at him. You know what I'm saying? Right now, Deion is the and Colorado is the the black sheep. Everybody wants to try to find stuff to throw shade on them.
Yeah, that's all they want to do, brother.
Like, I get that. But like this ain't politics. This ain't Michelle Obama. You they go low, you go high nonsense. Nah, this is football. This is a dog-eat-dog world. This is, if you talk stuff, I'm gonna make sure I put my foot on your neck and talk stuff with you. So I have no problem with that. None at all.
I mean, I get it. It's probably better like to talk with your play during the game. After the game, it's over, right? So
but it's not.
I'm with Coach. Just dap him up and be like, "I still got your ass, bitch," and then I'm out. You know what I mean?
Look. The great poet Sean Carter once said, "You shoot me, you're famous. You know, right. I shoot you, I'm brainless. What's the coach to do? You know what I'm saying? It's like it's just like, I mean, there's ways to handle it. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I get it. I mean, Shedeur cooked up for 310.
Barry preparing for that New York media. That's all Barry wanted. He wanted to be
and that's funny. It's funny you say that, LG, because I saw somebody I think it was a friend of the program, Adriana Arafola, New York Giants fangirl, that said that she doesn't think Shedeur would be able to handle New York media. She thought it was bush league that he did that after the game. And I listen, I like to talk my ish too, but I'm also in the Barry Sanders camp. Hand the ball, act like you've been there, hand the ball off, and go about your business, right? So that's always
a time and a place, though. Like I
know, but I'm just saying, like, that's just how I am. So I understand what Adriana was saying, but at the end of the day, like, I'm with you too. Like, if you got something to say, come say it now.
I'm in your face now.
I'm in your face. Come say it to me right now. No, you want to dap me up like, oh, everything's cool, brother. Hey, you had a great game, brother. Like, get the hell out of my face with that. That's how I'm talking to you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
yeah.
CK, man, you've been very quiet, my man. I wanted to give you an opportunity to say what you got to say. I'm not sure if you caught any of the games this past week from college, man, but where's your head at, sir?
Yeah, I find it interesting that that's what people want to focus on in that Colorado game, not the fact that the offensive line played better, not the fact that the defense played much better, not the fact that the team is trending in the right direction. Okay, you had the letdown in week 2, but if you look at week 1 and week 3, the offensive line is trending in the right direction. And I'm of the mind, I don't do the subservient Negro. I don't care who's watching. Personally, that's just me. I'm gonna say what I gotta say, and I'm not. If I was Deion, I wouldn't have went to midfield and shook Norvell's hand after what his wife said about him. But that's just me. Okay, I don't believe in that whole going to midfield shaking hand. I don't believe in fake sportsmanship. I believe in real sportsmanship. Okay, that fake sportsmanship. Let's go shake hands and show the kids. Listen, if your kids have to learn sportsmanship from watching a game on TV, then you're failing your children. That's just my opinion. I figured Quinn Ewers would get hurt. Miss me with the Arch Manning, the Heisman nonsense. I think that's all just nonsense. I still don't believe in Sarkisian. I think Texas is a very talented team. But I don't believe in Sarkisian. I think the team itself is extremely talented. And we'll see what happens as time goes. Honestly, Steve, I think it would be best if they lost to Georgia the first time
And
because
beat them the second time. Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah,
There you go.
yeah. I feel the same way. That's funny that you say that. It's like I'll take the L in October. We get the win in December in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
But aside from that, I think that the parity in college football is so good right now.
Yes,
Literally anybody could just about beat anybody. Notre Dame did what they were supposed to do, which is they came back from a letdown. The sky is not falling. We're 3 weeks in, and a lot of teams that they claimed after week 2 the sky was falling, the coach would be fired, are 2-1. So it was a lot of good games. That Georgia Kentucky game was interesting because Kentucky seems to give Georgia a problem each
Every
time
year.
they play them.
Yeah,
You
all
know,
the time. It's not just. It wasn't just Saturday. Kentucky always plays them tough.
yeah.
Make
But
points.
it's I like what Arkansas is doing. Bobby Petrino's back in college football, and we see the effects there at Arkansas. Missouri skated. They skated because if they had lost to Boston College, bro, their season would have been over. But they got through Boston College.
I'm glad you
So
brought
it
up
was a
Mizzou
lot of
because
good
I was
games.
going to bring up Mizzou because, like,
Mhm.
yeah, they can't lose these games. They got a pretty clear path to the playoff, and they can't afford to play like that because
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all I got, man.
You know what? Before we move, man, the game of the week, in my opinion, was that backyard brawl, man. Like watching Pittsburgh, West Virginia go at it like that, as a native, Yinzer, if you will, watching that game, man, it brought back home. I can remember a lot of times my family and I sitting there watching that thing, and half my family went to Pitt, half that family went to Penn State. But watching that game, man, I know that game was close to you, Coach, man. What'd you think, man?
Oh, like I said, I live here. I'm surrounded by Pitt and West Virginia people. I have, Mountaineers to the left of me, Panthers to the right of me. It's just it was good. Like I posted on Facebook. It's like people wonder why I love Saturdays. That the fourth quarter of the backyard brawl is exhibit, 1,418. Of why like Saturdays mean so much to me. Yeah, it was just like I don't like. Now Narduzzi, like he said something like, "Oh, we had to beat West Virginia in the ref, so he had to pay a little bit of money to the ACC." But I mean, he was kind of right because there was some questionable calls that didn't go the Panthers' way in that game. So it's like I was just shocked that he actually said it like in the post game interview. But yeah, like man, this is what makes college football great. These rivalries, and I'm glad that some of these rivalries are coming back. I'm glad that look, they're weird. They yell. They dress. They think they're military. But I'm glad that we're playing A&M again. I'm glad. I low key kind of miss playing them. Because it's like the banter back and forth stuff like that. So I'm glad things like this are happening, and it was great. They should play every year. It's just Kansas. We talked about Missouri, Kansas, Missouri. People don't understand like how nasty that rivalry is. They should play every year. Even Florida and Florida State. That game is probably going to be
trash bowl.
Yeah, they should probably put that game on Ion, or like
it's going to be on Tubi. It's going to be on Tubi.
It's going to be on Tubi, man.
But something that I want to bring up as we look forward to next week, and I guess kind of good transition.
Right,
man, Kansas State, has been playing some good football. I love what Kleiman is doing. He might not be there long. Some of these big jobs coming up. One of these schools might snatch my man up out of Manhattan. But like this game against BYU is a game that I had circled because it's like BYU. BYU likes to play football in the phone booth. They're gonna try to muck it up. They're gonna try to like wear them down because they all 28 years old with 2 kids. So it's like they don't got time for all this silliness. So it's like But so that's a game that like as we look forward to next week, I'm gonna be locked in on K-State BYU.
Yeah, the freshman quarterback at Kansas State, he's on the Heisman watch list for next season. That kid is something
that
else.
kid's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be very interesting to see. I mean, you mentioned Kansas State. I mean, they're definitely in play for these confidence picks that we gotta make later. Speaking of that, talk about a transition. Let's go and take a look.
Hey, I will say this. I want
what
to tell Unc this, man. The sky is falling in Florida State, and it's falling.
I got it.
It's falling, and I just want to say this real quick. How in the hell is LSU still ranked?
I don't know.
How in the hell are they still ranked?
Brian Kelly.
It's LSU. It's LSU.
That's the only reason.
Brand name.
That's the only reason.
Brand name.
Mm-hmm.
Brand name.
Yeah, it's that brand recognition. But but while you bring up the confidence series, I'll talk about it real quick. Florida State stinks. Norvell's going to lose his job.
Yeah.
DJU is costing Norvell his job.
Well, let me ask you this question.
The buyout is too high.
And that's what I was about to
high.
ask.
Yeah.
That buyout is insane, dog.
Yeah, if I have to pay that money, there's coaches that are still getting paid right now.
Florida State will do it. They'll do it.
They'll pay it to get rid of this guy with one good season, maybe 1.5. Like me and Larry were talking about it. One good season last year, and maybe a decent season before that kept his job. Before that, and this year, he was doing nothing.
Barry, if he lose, I'm put like this, if he lose to Miami and to Florida, he's gone.
He's done.
If they lose to Cal Saturday,
done deal.
When they lose to Cal, I don't know how they're. I don't know how they're favored at home.
Yeah,
I don't know how they're favored at home. When you're favored,
he's got to bench the quarterback. He has to make the only way he saves his job is to bench
DJ.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Trash J.
But there's nobody left. There's nobody to play. You know what I mean? Like there's nobody to play quarterback.
It doesn't matter. You got to have a backup. Put the backup in and run the ball 45 times.
But
y'all 2-point favorites, though, man.
That's what I'm saying. How are we 2-point favorites?
West Coast team coming east.
If you're a 2-point favorite at home, you might as well not be a favorite. That's how I look at it. But this is my problem with Florida State. They can't run the ball. They're supposed to have a good offensive line. The offensive line is doing nothing, and the defensive line was supposed to be the best in college football. They haven't done a damn thing. So it's like even if you wanted to keep DJ in the game and help him out with a running game, they can't run the damn ball. That's the problem. And Norvell is game planning them out of the running game because he's throwing it on first down, giving them a second and long behind the chains. I mean, every time it's ridiculous. Norvell's going to lose his job.
I'll go even further, Barry. Not only is it the play, we put too much into DJ, but we're losing commits like crazy. We're losing 4 and 5-star commits already, jumping ship.
Mm-hmm.
And it's only going to be so much he can get, recoup through the portal. But when you have, and I'm not talking about, national recruits. I'm talking about he's losing 4 and 5-star Florida recruits at home in your backyard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the writing's on the wall, man. If you don't win every last game for the rest of the season, and they make some type of bowl game, he's out of there.
There's no way to make a bowl game. I don't see them winning. I don't see them winning before games.
I mean, it might be like a 0.2%, but it's possible.
I mean, I have to think. I think they will make a bowl. I just have a hard time seeing this Florida State team implode like this. Now, again, I don't expect them to beat Clemson. I don't expect them to beat Miami. I don't expect them to beat Notre Dame.
They won't beat Duke either.
They might not. Duke had a hard time against UConn.
They're struggling with Duke. You know what I'm saying? But they'll make the they got the Haynes White Sox Bowl or some stupid stuff like that.
Look, I said the serious. It's going to be the Frank Red Hot Bowl.
Yeah, like I said, 6 gets you a bowl. So it's like they got 9 games left, and they got 9 games left. Losses. Like coach, they got Clemson's a loss, Miami's a loss, Notre Dame's a loss. So they have to win every other game. Every other game. Starting Saturday.
Yeah.
Against a Cal team that's better than a lot of people think.
Yeah.
A Cal team that went into Jordan Hare and won a game. Now you can speak about how good Auburn may or may not be, but that's a good win on the road.
Yeah, it is.
You know, going into Jordan Hare, which isn't an easy place to play, and they got to win. So it's like,
and going to SMU is not an easy game. Going to Duke is not going to be an easy game.
No.
North Carolina is not going to be.
Nope.
I don't see a path to 6 wins now. I really
I don't either.
I don't.
Now that I'm looking at it,
and it's damn shame because I just got my damn Ward Dunn jersey in the mail, and I can't wear the damn thing till next year.
Oh,
nah, man.
Shout out to the homie Warwick, my favorite Florida State player of all
time. The worst part about it is that the expectations was better than this, especially coming off of last year.
But that's the problem. That's the problem.
Thank you. I was about to say that. That's the problem. Last year was last year. What happened to Florida State last year was awful. It was a travesty. They got hosed. I think most people can agree. They are letting last year seep into this year too much.
Yep.
Last year was last year. Let's focus on this year. Because this year, like Bill Parcells would say, you are what your record says you are. Right now, Florida State is a 0-3 football team that desperately needs a win on Saturday.
And that's the fault of the coaching staff because he kept talking about it. Norvell kept talking about it. And at the interview after the bowl game should have been the last time he talked about it. Every time they asked about it after that, he said, I'm not talking about that. We're talking about this season. But he kept talking about it. So the players bought into, oh, poor us, oh, poor us, oh, poor us. And they're playing like losers.
But you know what the problem is? Last year's team is not here.
A lot of guys, the backups and the third stringers are there. And see, they're still running around talking about, oh, we got hoes. Bro, nobody cares.
Nah, I'm going to say it may be a little bit of that, but it's also he put his faith in the wrong quarterback. Fired. Quick. And he, like I said, we saw 3 years of DJ. That was not the guy you go get out of the portal.
Nope.
That's not the guy you go get. I don't care if he came cheap. You don't sign that guy. You go get somebody who could at least run your offense. DJ can't run an offense. Anything more than 3 yards down the field, he don't see it. Like it's not even there unless it's just wide open. And like even you just. I'm put like this: the part that frustrates me the more about Norvell putting his faith in DJ and Barry, we've alluded to this. You would think you would at least get competent quarterback play from somebody he's like a 5th-year senior or something.
Yeah, he's been he's been there for almost 6 years.
Yeah, you would think you would at least get competent quarterback play, not quarterbacks that are you don't see nothing open, so you just throwing the ball up and it damn near gets returned for a pick 6, like. You would think that a quarterback that's been in college that long would at least know, hey, I throw the ball away, I punt, and now my defense can probably save me. Not I throw an interception and they're damn near returning it for a touchdown.
But he's been with coaches who let him just rely on his physical talent. Basically, he's Malik Willis when Malik Willis was in college.
Exactly what I was about to say. That's Malik Willis right there.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. And you're stuck with him. He's going to cost you your job. And you had we said it last week or the week before. You had a chance to get Ward, and he's sitting at BC, and you're stuck with DJU. Congratulations. It's going to cost you your job.
Yeah.
I mean, let me ask you this question just out of curiosity. I mean, would y'all make the move to Brock Glenn or somebody else like
anybody?
DJ ain't the answer. And
you don't owe DJ a damn thing. You don't owe him a damn thing, right? Serious? You don't. What do you owe him?
You don't know.
He's done nothing to prove that he deserves the job. Bye. Good. I'm glad you got everybody Beats headphones. You can sit on the bench and listen to your headphones while we got the quarterback.
Yeah.
Bye.
Jeez. Yeah, man. For a group of people that didn't want to talk about Florida State, here we go. But anywho,
I had to get it out.
We could have talked about LSU and LSU over here still ranked, and you crapping the bed over here. They got real lucky, boy. They got super lucky in South Carolina because that field goal, I thought he was gonna hit it. I was like, oh.
What was the score? What was the score? Like they were down. It was at
they won by 3.
Yeah, they were down.
like
They were
came
down
back.
double digits. They were
They were
down
down
double
double
digits.
digits.
Yeah, double.
Yeah,
digits.
because we could have talked about another Florida team, the University of Florida,
Oh
because
God.
I don't want you to do that. I don't want you to do that to yourself.
they are passing the hat around in
Yeah.
Gainesville.
Billy
Okay.
Napier's gone.
All
Napier's
right,
gone.
it's like they are collecting. They passing the hat around, passing the collection plate around, and they're getting that buy money ready because look again. Unc talks all the time about coaches not being ready and stuff like that. And maybe he's a little bit above his skis a little bit. And it's like, yeah, it's like you got to remember, it's not like Billy Napier came from Oklahoma or LSU. He came from Louisiana. It's just, I don't know. It's like this job might be too big for him because it's like when you are the head football coach at Florida.
It is.
Not UL Monroe or University, coaching the Raging Cajuns, when you have to be more than just a football coach. And
Right.
I feel like not everybody is built like that to be more than a football coach. Norvell, it was all peaches and cream in Memphis, walking 10 feet, down.
Mm-hmm.
You go to Florida State, it's a little bit different. You got to be more than just a football coach.
Yeah.
And that's the whole problem is Napier and Norvell got these jobs because relationships. When it was obvious that, listen, there's nothing wrong with being a coach that's good enough to take a Arkansas or somebody like that, where the fan base is like, if you get us 8, 9, 10 wins, if you get us 8, 9 wins a year, and every 3 years you give us 10 wins, dude, you can coach there for the rest of your life.
Look at Kirk
There's
Ferentz.
nothing
Kirk Ferentz
wrong with that.
That's how Kirk Ferentz been in Iowa for 37 years.
37
it's like
years.
you toe the line, and then every couple years, like we talked about this a couple weeks ago. It's like when you miss Ohio State and Michigan in those years, and you make the Rose Bowl, and it's like, hey, what I'm saying? So it's just, I don't know. A guy like Norvell, guys like Napier, they, like I said, when you're at these big programs, it's more than it's a lot of handshaking and baby kissing, and not everybody's built for that. No. And you have to coach football, and you have to win, and it's just, sometimes it can be a little bit much, and it's just like, it's funny because it seems, if you ask me, at the end of the year, there's going to be 2 of the big 3 in Florida. Those jobs might be open, which is crazy to think.
Yeah.
We'll be talking about who's going to get those jobs, and it's a shame. I think Napier can coach. I just think you guys are right. I think he's in over his head at Florida.
Oh, definitely. He's definitely in over his head.
Yeah,
definitely.
You gotta take the Caleb DeBoer route. You gotta go coach it like Washington first, and at least get them to
let's
like
not disrespect Washington, though. I mean,
no,
it's
no.
I'm not saying it's a disrespect.
It's
I'm
not
just saying you gotta.
It's a
you
step
can't go
up.
from Memphis to Florida State. You got to go to like an Arkansas.
You go Memphis
like
to Washington, then to Florida State.
And if you look at it, how many coaches have gone to Washington and gone on to big programs and been successful? Washington is kind of a feeder school for coaches. Boise State. How many Boise State coaches have coached there and gone on to big programs and been successful? You can do it, but you actually have to go coach somewhere, man. You have to learn how to develop 3 stars into 5 stars. Go learn how to develop 2 stars into 4 stars. And he's got Napier. I can't name one player that Billy Napier developed when he was at, I think it was Louisiana Monroe.
He was at Louisiana Lafayette. They like to call themselves just Louisiana.
Okay, I can't name one player that Norvell from Memphis. There's maybe one player he got to the NFL when he was there. Whereas you look at Boise State, it's Boise State players, it's Washington players all over the NFL, which tells me that you're developing these guys because they're not all 5 stars.
No,
see, that's leadership. That's leadership. And, I'm saying, I can't diagram a play on a whiteboard to save my life, but I know good leaders when I see them. Right.
And it's a difference, right? Because you're talking about a program that has to be able to recruit. You're not going to get these NIL kids at Washington per se. You got to go out and find the talent. And you're not going to find blue chippers. You're going to find 3 stars and develop them into 5 stars. Right. That's what's going on, and that's where you get that experience. And Norvell and Napier don't have that yet.
And I'll say this, and I think a guy who's probably the best in the country at that is Kyle Whittingham at Utah.
Oh yes.
Yeah,
He is
absolutely.
probably the best coach in the country. Of like, look, I'm gonna get a bunch of 3-stars. I'm gonna coach him up. I'm gonna coach him real hard, and then look what's gonna happen. And I
Yeah.
think and that's why he stayed at Utah all this time. It's like these other teams, like Florida's gonna give him a call. You know, Florida State, if they decide to move on, they're gonna give him a call. But he's like, no, I'm good. Especially like they're in the Big 12 now. It's like I think Whittingham. I love him. And you speak about another former Utah coach, Urban Meyer, from Bowling Green to Utah to Florida to Florida. I mean, from Florida to Ohio State. It's like that. You don't see coaches progress like that anymore. I do agree with what Larry said. It's like you can't go from Utah State to coaching LSU. It's just not gonna work out.
No,
you know.
No.
So yeah, but it's like a guy like Whittingham who just like he get these 3-star guys and a couple 4-star guys and just coach them up, and he's just been so successful at Utah for so long. Is just that's what you want to see these guys do. To where if he did decide to move on, I think he'd be fine.
Yeah,
you know, if he did want to take one, if he did want to say, you know what, I've done what I can do at Utah, I'm gonna take the Florida job. I don't think it would be too big of a
coach
jump.
at Arizona State. Keep your eyes on him. He's going to be a hell of a coach down the road, and he's going to coach at a big program.
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple of good guys. Utah, Manhattan, Kansas State, and Arizona State. I absolutely agree with you. And it's the point too. And I'll leave it at this: it's not just coaching the 3 stars; it's finding the 3 stars
and developing
doing that homework. Though, right on. Scouring the nation, finding those 3 stars that fit your program, and you say, I could take this kid and mold them into a 5-star, but finding them and doing that work, because the recruiting's a lot of work, right?
Yeah.
In the office, it's a lot of work. The coach knows you're doing it right now. It's a lot of work.
A lot of work.
But I'll say this, Barry.
Yeah,
I've alluded to it a million times, and we all know this. If you're in Florida, how many 3 stars can you find?
In Florida,
yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, you literally that's like walking up to like every other street, and it's like, okay, there's 8 3 stars on this corner, there's 10 on this corner.
Yeah,
if I walk another block, there's another 10. Like everybody knows, if you are in Texas, California, and Florida, and you just recruit, you will have a good team.
Yes.
If you pull in, some of those other players from other states,
right,
you will assemble a great collection of talent. You bring in a couple of NILs here and there, fill some holes. You will have so much talent on your team. You might could just sit back and just be like, guys, go play. But you gotta coach them. But you gotta coach them up too. But
look what Kirby Smart has done at Georgia. It's most of those guys on that team are Georgia guys.
Yep.
And then he'll get a kid from Texas, he'll get a kid from Ohio, he'll get that really good kid from, wherever, from Louisiana. But most of those guys on the Georgia roster are homegrown. He's keeping those guys at home,
And he's got the advantage because they
weren't on 5 stars. They weren't.
Not. But they don't leave Georgia because Georgia has, outside of Georgia Tech, where else are you going to go in Georgia to play ball? To be honest with you,
Steve, I hit a sore spot. That's why I was getting mad at Mac Brown. Because he was losing Texas talent to Oklahoma.
Yeah, it was.
I know how he fumbled to Adrian Peterson, but it wasn't just Adrian Peterson. You were losing a lot of Texas talent to Oklahoma
and Oklahoma State,
Oklahoma State too.
Yeah,
Oklahoma State was recruiting Houston heavy. It was so many guys from Houston on that team. It was like ridiculous. Like, but it's like it's one of those things where it's like that's a big part of college football. It's like kind of putting a bubble around your territory, so to speak. And the long-term ramifications of this is like Florida State is losing that grip on their bubble. And
they lost it years ago.
They lost it when Jimbo left.
There you go. They lost it with Jimbo.
We keeping it a buck. Say what you want to about Jimbo. Jimbo can recruit his ass off. He's just a natural recruiter. But
he was key in keeping the Florida talent, because you remember the late 80s and the early 90s, it was a war to get Florida talent in Florida, at Miami, Florida, and Florida State. You had to be able to keep that talent. Florida was a hotbed. Florida had the talent. Texas, Pennsylvania had the quarterbacks, but you stayed in Florida, you can win. and they lost that. Like, say what you want about like UConn, it's not a big program at all, but Jim Mara knows he has to keep, if there's Connecticut talent, he's got to do his work in Connecticut. And he goes around to the high schools and he visits. He does the work in Connecticut, even though that's not a hotbed in any stretch of the imagination. But he knows if anything, he can't lose out on Connecticut talent. The big players are going to leave. You'll have one or two in Connecticut that'll leave. But everybody else, he knows he has to stay here. And that's where Napier and Norvell are losing. And that's a problem.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Barry, that kind of loses what we were talking about. Me and Barry, we have these man-to-man powwows. And I'll say this. If it happened and if Deion came home, he probably would clean up the state of Florida.
Yeah.
Not only is Deion like a little mini god in Florida, people also forget that Warren Sapp is on his coaching staff.
That's right.
And Warren Sapp is like a mini god in Florida, and they will probably clean up on recruits.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, if he can get those kids to go to Colorado, okay.
He can definitely get them to go to Florida State.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. With that being said, gentlemen, I mean, again, we can sit here and talk about this for the next, couple hours, but I wanted to kind of pivot into kind of taking a look at where we all stand with last week's confidence poll, confidence points.
Do we have
yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Unfortunately, we do, because Villain is happy, and I need to keep Villain happy for a little bit before we start talking Giants. Breaking news: Hughes came back to the building last week. He missed on all his picks.
Tough.
Don't even read mine. Just skip
That's
over.
not his job.
See, the thing is
Michigan State didn't cover by a half point.
Half a point, my guy.
Half a point. It was nothing.
They beat him by 40.
40 to nothing. And I said, well, maybe they may kick a field goal or something. I said maybe 45 to 3. 40 to nothing, and did not cover the spread.
So Larry had himself a rough day.
He tried to sneak attack. He tried to get some layups, and he missed out.
How much layup do you need in that?
He tried to get back in the game. Yo, my man.
He was talking so much about Michigan State the week before, and then you took him this week. It was hilarious.
They couldn't even get a safety or something. I'm like, man, really?
Coach only got 2 right. He got his 5.1 correct, and he got his 3.1 correct. Correctly picking Houston and Pittsburgh to do what they needed to do, respectively. I got 2 right. I picked Maryland and K-State, respectively. I missed on the other 3, and that's all we need to talk about for right now.
That's even one reason why I'm pissed off at LSU, man. I picked them, and they ain't even cover the damn spread. I'm like, man, come on, man. 7-point spread. You ain't even cover that. Come on now.
I'm not even. That was wild. That was wild. But Villain did a very good job this week. He missed one. He missed Georgia and Kentucky. The rest he hit. He hit. So with that,
Villain's here.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Well, okay, sir.
Great.
You gotta feel me. Everybody felt me, man, with no hands, man. They feeling me right now.
No, we ain't feeling nothing, bro.
Man. I just got to try to keep hitting these 5-pointers, man. If I keep hitting these 5-pointers, man, then I'll be all right.
Right. So with that being said, Villain, I'm gonna let you lead off here first, sir. Give me your 5-point play for this week.
Yeah, so I am gonna go with Syracuse minus 9 points at home against Stanford. Stanford coming all the way across country to play in Syracuse in the Carrier Dome. I like what I saw from Syracuse in the Georgia Tech game. They didn't play last week, but I like what I'm seeing from the quarterback McCord. 8 touchdowns, 1 interception so far this year. The running back is pretty solid too. I am taking Syracuse minus 9 points at home against
At
Stanford.
home. Okay. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you. I appreciate
Because
you.
you even put it in the damn thing wrong. Like you highlighting the wrong teams, and I'm like, this.
No, Syracuse is favored, so the team that's favored gets highlighted.
That's
Come
not
on
what
now.
you put for last week.
No, that's it. Look at the.
I took Texas A&M -4. You highlighted Florida, okay?
Because Texas A&M, because Florida was favored. You want me to go back and look at it? You want me to go back and look at it? No. Yeah, that's what I thought.
You're not doing.
That's what I thought. With that being said, Larry, talk to me, my guy. What's your 5-point play, sir?
Oh man, I don't even want to take layups no more, man. I'm
I'm
throwing blind darts over here at this point, man. Look, hey, you know what? I'm gonna throw another blind dart, man. I'm gonna take Ole Miss and I'm gonna take them against Georgia Southern. They got 35 points. They gonna put it up.
Georgia Southern.
And I know they're gonna blow it. They're gonna score 34. It's gonna be 34-point win. 32 and a half. They're gonna be the first team in NCAA history to score a half a point.
I'm gonna come back to get breaking news here in a minute. Coach, talk to me, man. What's your 5-point play, sir?
My 5-point play. We talked about Louisiana earlier with Billy Napier. I am going to take Tulane -3 versus the Raging Cajuns. Tulane been playing really good ball. They probably should have won that game against K-State. We'll talk about how good K-State, they talk about questionable calls. I like Tulane. I like what they're doing. They've been playing well. So I'm going to take Tulane -3 as my 5-point play.
-3. Okay, I'll come back and get that in a minute. That's going to be covered. Boom. All right, so I believe in taking layups when I get them. I'm not going to do the thing that what's-his-face did, but...
I got a name, man. You know that, right?
I got a name.
What's-his-face, you know what I'm saying? Michigan State versus...
At least I pick mine quicker than you. I mean, dude,
hey, yo.
I
gotta type and get it. Shut your face.
You like the old man who adjusts his glasses, and he tell you like 8 times, what happened, and
Right.
He's Red Fox in Harlem Nights.
Yeah.
Shut your face. Speaking, sorry. So I'm gonna go Iowa versus Minnesota, man. That's a 2.5 line. Iowa's favored. On the road against Minnesota. There's something about this Big Ten matchup that it just hits me right, man. So Iowa, 2.5-point favorites on the road versus Minnesota is my 5-point play. I don't know why I'm doing this to myself. This is gonna be an ugly ass game. But that Big Ten stuff talks to me. All right, Chandler, did you want to participate or not?
I don't even understand what you're doing, but I'll take it Bowling Green over whoever they playing.
All right.
Who is this? Bowling Green, Texas. So you're gonna take Bowling Green +23.
Bowling Green playing who?
Texas A&M.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Wow. +20. All right.
Bowling Green.
I'm coming in swinging.
Hooping, man.
Hey, I tried
hooping.
I tried that first week and I had an epic failure.
But he's coming. He's hooking.
Who's favored there? That Bowling Green favorite?
No, they're +23.
The +20. Okay.
He's taking the points.
All right, so I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do +23. Texas A&M is favored. Boom. I say less. All right. I'll get Brian's stuff here in a minute. So let me go ahead and grade that out. Boopity boppity boopity boom. There. All right. Let me get my boom. I gotta make that down bigger. Bam. All right. CK, what's your 4-point play, sir?
I have no idea, but
You won the whole damn thing.
the Jets play on Thursday, right?
You won the whole damn thing.
Oh, wait a minute.
The Jets play on Thursday, right?
Thursday, right?
Yeah. That's NFL.
College.
That college. That's NFL. That's NFL.
Oh, I got to pick another team. Who is Florida playing?
They are -6 against. Hold on a second. I just had that game. I was just looking at that. They are -6 on the road. I know that, and they are playing. Give me a second.
I'm scrolling.
I'm scrolling as fast as I get.
They're gonna lose to whoever they're playing. I'm taking whoever's playing Florida.
There we go.
Oh wow.
That's easy.
Mississippi State.
Mississippi
Yeah,
State.
Mississippi State. I was like, I could have flew. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm taking Mississippi State.
All right, so he's gonna go Mississippi State. And Florida's favored, right?
Florida's favored on the road.
Oh yeah, they losing that.
The Gators are Florida. Oh boy.
And what's the line on that villain?
6.
So it's +6. Oh my goodness gracious. All right, my guy, Larry, what's your 4-point play, sir?
All right, man. So I'm not going to take layups on my 4-point play, but I'm going to take Tennessee over Oklahoma, and I'm going to take them to cover.
He took my damn game.
I'm going to take them to cover the 7.
I
like that.
I like that. All right, I see you, Larry.
Hey, man, you know what? Hey, I'm shooting some threes and some layups this week, man. I say maybe I'll take some variety this week. Maybe I might come out with something, you know.
I had that on my list, so you might be in good shape.
Hey, that first week, I can't lie. That first week, man, I was pulling up from half court. Hey, I was shooting hips and I was pulling them up.
Oklahoma, and that's -7. Mm-hmm. And you take it Tennessee, correct?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Right.
Tennessee gonna pull that dub out.
I think they are.
Villain, that's your 4-point play too, sir?
No, I switched it actually.
Okay. All right. Well, what is your 4-point play, sir?
So I had Tennessee, but I'm gonna go with the game we were talking about before. It will not be an orgy party in Ann Arbor. I'm gonna take a USC -6. In Ann Arbor, and I think USC is going to win that game. Get the second. USC -6 points in Ann Arbor. It is not an orgy party you want to go to.
So USC, they're playing Michigan, I believe, and they are still -6. And who's favored there?
USC -6.
USC -6. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know how lines work? You know how gambling works?
Shut your face. I'm a professional, sir. I'm a professional. Black Zach, talk to me.
USC -6.
Okay.
So now you got 2 people. It is an orgy. Woo!
No Diddy.
All right, and for my 4-point play, I'm actually doing Tennessee, Oklahoma. I can't get away from it. So that's where that's
gonna be a good game.
That's gonna be a very good game. Very good game.
Tennessee's not getting a lot of love, man. They didn't play last week, but I like what I see from Tennessee. I agree.
For my 3-point play, I'm gonna go USC Michigan. For my 3-point play, I'm gonna double back. Host, talk to me, man. What's your 3-point play, sir?
My 3-point play is Tennessee covering against Oklahoma. So make this easy.
I'm gonna go ahead and copy and paste that there. Boom.
Make that a double.
That's yours?
Yep.
All right. Larry, what's your 3-point play, sir?
Oh man, so now I gotta get a little bit more back to my layups, man. I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna take Missouri to cover. I'm gonna take Missouri to cover that 20 against Vanderbilt. 20 and a half. I think they're gonna pull it. Is in Missouri, so I think they're gonna cover.
Missouri 20. Is Vanderbilt? Oh wow.
Yeah, against Vandy. I think they're gonna cover.
It's 20 and a half.
They was a little shaky last week, but I think they're gonna bounce back.
Dangerous. ICK, man. What's your 3-point play, sir?
Colorado.
I don't know if they play this week. Are they
minus
playing
2.
They're playing Baylor. They're playing Baylor.
Baylor.
Oh yeah, okay. I didn't even see it on my list there.
That's a tough one. That's a good game though. I did have that pencil too. So you like Colorado minus 2?
Yeah.
Okay, Baylor minus.
That's
2.
because Colorado is unranked.
All right, they'll be ranked after this week.
If they win, they get that dub, right?
Yeah.
All right, coach. What's your 2-point play, sir?
My 2-point play is the California Golden Bears.
Yeah, I knew you was gonna hit that.
Plus 2.5 on my board. Yeah. Let's get weird. Let's make things.
That's who.
I mean, because 2.5, I'm picking Cal to win. You know, what we talk about all the time. When the spread's under 3, you might as well. It's a pick 'em pretty much. So yeah, I got coming east. Night game. Doak Campbell's gonna be all lit. None of that's gonna matter. Cal's gonna cover the 2.5.
They're gonna burn that place down if they lose that game. Real talk.
Florida State is favored.
Listen, I hope Mike Norvell got a whole lot of insurance on his house.
Yep.
Man, that dude.
Don't you come back around here no more.
That house is on Zillow or something.
Yeah, Chief Osceola is going. He's gonna keep the spirit lit all the way to Norvell House. You know, doing this. Oh man,
He better hope that house ain't owned by the university because the locks may be changed when we get home.
No, I mean, people kind of stupid. And I hope they don't, but I can see people doing stuff to his house, man. Just how stupid people.
They was already there. They was already in his house.
Really?
They was already in his house.
Yeah, not good look. Not a good look.
Devils.
Yeah. All right. Next on the list today. I'll put that as villain. Hold on one second. Let me correct this real quick.
Is it on me?
It's my turn.
Hold on one second.
I gotta feed the people. So I'm looking at a couple of games. I do like that Colorado game. I thought that was a good pick, but I'm gonna hold back on that one. For my 2-point play, I'm gonna go with Kansas State on the road. I'm gonna lay that 6.5. So Kansas State minus 6.5 on the road at BYU.
Oh, that's gonna be a good one.
I think it's going to be a tight game, but I think K-State will pull out and they'll pull away late and get that win. I think they'll win by a touchdown. I like what I saw from them last week. So give me Kansas State minus 6.5.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah, me too.
That's gonna be a good game to watch. I know that.
Yes, I agree.
Larry, talk to me, my guy. What's your 2-point play, sir?
For my 2-point play, I'm gonna go there, and I'm gonna pick an upset for my 2-point play.
I like it.
I'm picking Deshaun Foster and UCLA to go into LSU and pull the upset.
Wow. I like that.
My boys hooping.
Hey,
over there.
They've been playing hard for him. They've been real gritty. And LSU's been struggling with these nitty gritty teams. We've seen it with USC.
I like it.
USC came in and brought some defense, and LSU didn't like it. LSU didn't like it. They came with some defense, and the UCLA been playing real tough for Deshaun Foster.
It's minus 24, so you going? Oh my God!
You going UCLA plus 24? That's a good. That's a good.
I like that.
That's the favorite, but I think UCLA gonna pull it out.
I think that's too many points, even at home for USC. LSU. I think that's
too many points.
Yeah.
Not as bad as they've been struggling.
Yeah, I would think that line would be closer to like 13 or 12, something like that. You know what I mean?
When I saw that line, I was like, "Woo!" I was like,
Yeah, 24 is a lot.
All right, Chandler, sir, what is your next play? You got a 2-point play here, sir.
Man, he took a game. I can't remember. I was thinking of somebody and I can't remember. Damn. You know what? I'm gonna do the no, not that one. Damn. Who's Arizona State? Arizona State.
Let me see who they got.
Who are they playing?
I have no idea.
Arizona State.
I'm just picking schools I like at
Oh,
this
Texas Tech. Yeah,
They got
so
Texas
they're
Tech.
Texas Tech on the road plus 3 points. That's not a bad game. That's not a bad game.
It's not bad at all. No, that's
All right, I'll take Arizona State. I like them. I just like the way that they play.
Mm-hmm.
Texas Tech.
Texas Tech can score some points. The over under is 60 points, so there's gonna be some points stored.
Mhm.
And what's the line there, Villain?
Arizona State plus 3.
Okay. Arizona State plus 3. My 2-point play, I'm gonna go right back to Chandler's 3-point play. I'm gonna take that Colorado Baylor thing. I love that. And from my 1-point play to kind of bring us on home, I'm gonna mess around with this Friday night game, this Nebraska Illinois joint.
Ooh.
Nebraska's favored by 7.5. I think they get that, man. Give me Nebraska minus 7.5 versus Illinois.
That's gonna be a good game too.
That's gonna be a good one. So I'm going to do Nebraska.
That's on Friday night on Fox.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because Illinois has been looking like a competent football team so far this season. So
is Bielema still coaching at Illinois?
Yes.
7.5.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Burt still Champagne.
And I'm gonna take Illinois then.
All right, so we're gonna keep it simple. Give me 1 second. Let me type this up. So
he knows how to beat Nebraska.
We're gonna copy that. Boom. But he's gonna do plus 7.5. I like it, CK. We're gonna put that back that way. Bippity boppity boopy. All right, Coach, give me your 1-point play, sir.
So I had a couple games. Like normally, I'll just list about 10 games and just kind of see what the vibes are, and I'll just pick off of my list.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. It's a 1-pointer. I don't want to throw anything away because I got a deficit to make up if I'm trying to catch Villa and everybody else. But you know what? You know what? All right. NC State plus 20.5 against
Who they playing? Who they playing? Oh, I like that one. Yes.
It's Tulane?
No, Clemson.
That's it.
Who they playing, Coach? Who they playing?
NC State plus 20.5 versus Clemson.
Yeah,
You think they'll keep it close? You think they'll keep it close?
I think they will keep it close enough. I think they will keep it within 20 points. Now,
they will.
I hope
they will.
You know, I got done in last week where it's like Tulane kept it close with Oklahoma. And Oklahoma scores that last touchdown.
Yeah,
and it's just like I hope that I can see a scenario where that happens again to where it's like NC State's down by 17 and then Clemson scores a touchdown. But yeah, give me the Wolfpack plus 20.5.
Mad that I didn't pick that one. I like that.
I like that too.
Larry, talk to me, man. What's your 1-point play, sir?
I'm going. It's gonna hurt a little bit because I've seen them up close and personal. I'm going Georgia Tech to pull the upset over Louisville.
Ooh, I wanted to pick Louisville so bad.
I did. Hey, but Georgia Tech, yeah, they the only loss that Georgia Tech has had was against that really good Syracuse team. And remember, I told you Syracuse. Yeah, and it was on the road. And Syracuse got a quarterback, man. And that game wasn't no blowout. That game was really tough. So I think Georgia Tech is gonna go into Louisville and pull it out.
What's the line there?
I think it's what? It's not a lot. What's the line?
I didn't see it. That's why I'm asking.
I just looked at it a minute ago. 10.5 for Louisville. It's 10.5.
Ooh, man, I like that.
I ain't shooting all layups, man. I tell you, I'm shooting some. Hey, I'm shooting from the gym, I'm shooting from the parking lot. That's
a corner three.
Quarterback
that's a corner three.
A corner three.
I like that. That's not a half court. That's a corner three for me. So.
Oh, okay.
All right, Dylan, bring us home, sir.
So I was looking at this game. I didn't know if I was gonna play around with it or not, but I didn't take these guys last week, and I was right not to do it. I'm going back on this week. So I am going to take my guys, Utah -2, Oklahoma State. Give me Utah -2.
Oh yeah,
You know
Utah.
why?
Oh, baby.
Yes.
You know why? Because even though Oklahoma State had a good win against Tulane, like what was it, Tulane, right, last week? I didn't like what I saw against Arkansas. They had to come back and take it to overtime against an Arkansas team that's meh. Utah, even though it's on the road, I think Utah's going to go in there, put some points on these guys. I like Utah.
Is Cam Rising back?
That's a good question.
I think he's still hurt.
I think, yeah.
But they backup play really good. They backup play really good.
He played really good. I mean, but like they kind of, you talk about struggling to pull away. I mean, again, it's a robbery game with Utah State, but I mean, they didn't, Utah didn't look, that sharp. And yeah,
against Utah State.
Yeah.
No, they didn't cover. They pulled away late, 38-21. Utah State, they have an interesting offense, right? They can wear you down, but I think Isaac Wilson has a good game. I think he's going to throw the ball over the place. I think I like where I think I'm going with them. I'm going with Utah. Give me 1 point. 1 point. It's all right. 1 point.
All right. So that's.
And guess what? I'm the villain. I haven't strayed too far from the path this year. So
that's true.
Trust the process. Trust the process.
All right,
I'm getting a little villainous over here.
Oh Lord, have mercy. All right, so just to recap, I got Iowa -2.5. I got Tennessee -7, USC -6, Colorado -2, Nebraska -7.25. Villain, run it down real quick.
Syracuse -9. Tennessee, USC -6, Tennessee -7, K State -6.5, Utah -2. Holla at you, boy.
Yes, sir. Coach, run it down for me real quick, sir.
All right, Tulane -3. We got USC -6. We got Tennessee -7. We got Cal +2.5, and the Mighty Wolfpack from Raleigh +20.5 versus Clemson.
Ooh, that's gonna be fun. That's gonna be fun. All right, Larry, I know the answer to your question. You don't know.
Yeah, man. We know. Just play the recording back later.
Just play the recording back later. All right, cool. All right, I'm sure.
Dan was gonna tell you the same thing. You better go kick rocks.
He's showing.
Don't play with Unc. Don't play with Unc.
So we'll leave Unc alone for right now. All right, gentlemen.
Hey Barry, why you ain't take no dibs on this Buffalo and Northern Illinois game, man? You close to the Buffalo than anything, you can't.
Yeah, boy.
That's gonna be a good game.
I don't want no parts. Never part of that.
All right, gentlemen. So that's the college side of things, man. I will go ahead and try to get this updated before the close of business on Sunday. Speaking of Sunday, man, NFL Week 2 has come and gone. The injury bug has showed up and showed out. And I for one am pissed off about it. From a fantasy standpoint. With that being said, I wanted to give you guys an opportunity to kind of talk about what you saw through 2 weeks. You know what, CK, man, I'll let you lead off here, man. First 2 weeks of the NFL season, man. What's on your mind?
I see a lot of organizations failing quarterbacks.
Yep.
I like what I saw the Washington offensive line point shaving. I don't care what nobody says, they was point shaving. Because the only time they false started was in the red zone. Every single false start, if you go back and watch that game, was only when they were in the red zone. So if you were having issues with hearing him or whatever it was, how come you only false started in the red zone when the fans were quiet?
And you were at home.
And they were at home. So they were point shaving. I'm sorry. They were point shaving. The Jets struggled to beat Tennessee. So that tells me all I need to know about the Jets. Hassan Reddick. We're going to find out about Brock Purdy this week coming up. because he's got Debo's out, McCaffrey's out. Isn't that Ayuk out now with a calf? Isn't he out too? Or is that Debo with the calf?
Debo's with the calf. Ayuk hasn't came in the form yet because he's still dealing with these first couple of weeks as preseason.
So we're gonna find out about that. Texans are doing what the Texans do, which is being good. I like what LaFleur did with Malik Willis. He limited his throws. He basically ran the ball. He threw when he had to and only when he had to, and won that game, which says a lot about that team. But at the end of the day, I see Chicago and I see Carolina literally failing their quarterbacks. I see the organizations failing their quarterbacks. Bryce Young shouldn't be benched, but the team is terrible. And Dave Canales, seriously, 2 games, and you worried about. And see, that's about him trying to save his job.
Mm-hmm.
They ain't about the team. Because Andy Dalton ain't got nobody to throw to either. Okay? That offensive line is still trash. All right? So miss me with he gives us the best chance. When Andy Dalton ain't gave nobody the best chance to win in 10 years. All right? He ain't gave nobody the best chance to win in 10 years. And Chicago's going to get that kid killed. 7 sacks. I think he's been sacked at least 10 times in 2 games. Yeah. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense that these same organizations keep getting good quarterbacks and they keep trying to ruin them. Matt Eberflus is going to be fired by the end of the season, and then he's going to have to start all over again. And we've seen this movie with Chicago before. We've seen this movie. Caleb Williams isn't the reason the Chicago Bears are trash. The Chicago Bears are trash because Keenan Allen, there's a reason Charles let him go. He can't stay healthy. Your offensive line is trash. You got an offensive lineman you just paid in the offseason says, I don't want to practice. And your offensive line keeps getting beat up the middle, and he's an interior offensive lineman. So are you kidding me right now? Would you expect this kid to come in and save you? He's not Superman. He can't rise above the trash that is around him. He can't. No, I don't. You know what? I don't think C.J. Stroud could rise above that trash he got there. C.J. Stroud walked into a good coach, a team that actually was, put things together. Caleb Williams walked into a team that don't know what the hell they're doing. Matt Eberflus, why are you dropping this kid back 55 times in the game? Run the damn ball. I don't care if you only getting a couple of yards. Run the damn ball. Stop having this kid back there trying to be Houdini. And Dave Canales, man, shame on you. But Kansas City is being Kansas City. They winning games. Who knows how the hell they winning games, but they winning games. The Ravens. Todd Monken should be taken out and shot. Why did you sign Derrick Henry if you weren't going to use him?
Say that again for the people in the back.
Why did you sign Derrick Henry if you're not going to use him? It makes no sense. It makes no sense. So I see a lot of organizational malfeasance by a lot of the same organizations, and I see the good organizations winning games. And miss me with the whole they should have run the ball in Philly. If Saquon, I throw that past Saquon 10 times out of 10. Okay, he was wide open. He was wide open. If you want to criticize something, criticize the damn going forward on 4th and 4 in the first freaking quarter, and the game just damn started. That's what you criticize. But I've
seen that script before. I've seen Saquon get that easy pass and drop it a million times in New York. I've seen it before.
It was the right play call for the right situation. It just didn't work out.
Oh, absolutely. Mm-hmm. But honestly, if it was 4 down territory, why didn't you run the ball, force and run some clock? Why are you throwing the ball when you're trying to run clock? Yeah, like you should be taking off time off the clock. So you essentially gave him a chance to stop the clock.
Not even that, y'all heard me say it. I say, man, these coaches sometimes you have to get out of the analytics. Stop playing Madden. Stop playing, all of the stuff. Because you know what they say? It's a cause and effect, everything. I'm kind of with Chandler. You kick the field goal, so now You're not up 6, you're up 9, and they need a touchdown, a 2-point, and outside. Like kick the
just
freaking
put the game.
field goal.
Just put the game away. Just
Like,
you know what I mean?
Aaron, I hate to say it, and people was getting on Justin Fields, but Mike Tomlin always is gonna be like, I'm gonna take the points. Take the points. Take the freaking points. Like,
because they're not guaranteed.
Points.
No, they're not.
You take the freaking points. And I get it. Your field goal may be blocked or your field goal may get, missed or something, but that's the much easier point, especially on 4th down. You take the points.
Mm-hmm.
At that point, they had like no timeouts, right? No timeouts.
Yeah,
so
no timeouts.
And if they was up 9, they would have needed a touchdown, a 2-point, and an onside kick.
What's the chances?
What's the chance?
You can't onside kick anymore. You can't do it.
No, you literally can't onside kick anymore.
So, like, what are we talking? Like, what are we talking about here? Like, that's why I talked to my boss at work today. He's a big Eagles fan. I pray for him every day. I can't. God is good, but sometimes you just can't save everybody. But even he's saying, like, Eagles Nation is going crazy on Nick Sirianni out there because of the play calling, and it's the same thing that.
But it's not Sirianni. It's not Sirianni. This is all Kellen Moore. Because remember, they took everything away from Sirianni. This is Kellen Moore, and we've seen Kellen Moore do this in Dallas.
But you're the head coach, huh?
Doesn't matter.
We've seen him do it in the Chargers.
If he makes the call, the head coach is like, no, we're not doing that. Run the ball. Or no, we're not doing that. Do it.
He can't. He can't. Howie Roseman took that power from him. That was the whole thing of the offseason, remember, as they wanted Sirianni out of the play calling.
He's out of the play calling, but he still makes the decision to kick the freaking field goal.
No, he doesn't.
The coach makes that call.
On 4th down?
Yeah.
That's absolutely his decision. That's out. If not, then he don't need to be out there.
No. He's a figurehead.
I mean, that's the easier thing to understand and an easier pill to swallow for my wife, who's an Eagles fan, by the way.
I pray for her continuously.
I know it's okay. I appreciate it. Sir, I'm gonna need you to win a ball game. Get a kicker. So
you know what the problem is? Adriana said, you know what? He didn't show up on the injury report. I don't want to hear that. Blah blah. No. It came out the day before that he had a groin issue. It came out. I saw it. So, like, even still, like, hindsight's 2020. Like, fine, but you knew he had a groin issue. You run the risk of him being out there. You got to have a backup plan. You didn't. Even if you had the punter that was going to be able to kick, was he practicing all week? Did he do anything?
I don't know. I don't know what the game plan was, because to your point, Villain, I saw the same alert that you probably saw. Yeah. You know, Gano struggling with a hamstring, whatever the case may be.
It was a groin.
So when I saw him out there, I was like, hold on a second. I hope they got a backup.
Yeah.
And
it was like not even the first play, brother. The first damn play, the damn dude ran it back, and he had to chase him down. He grabbed everything he could get his hands on it in his leg. Grabbed his hamstring, his quad, his kneecap, his Achilles, everything. Like,
now let me ask you this question. It is Tuesday night at 10:30 p.m. Do y'all have a kicker right now? You gotta go pick up somebody?
No, they haven't.
No.
What are y'all doing right now, bro?
You should be trying out people right now. You should be trying out people right now.
I didn't see anything pop on any of my feeds that said the Giants are bringing in A, B, C, D, E, F, and G to audition for a kicking spot.
Yeah, Tuesday's off day. This was the day to do it.
Right. Pacheco got hurt on Sunday night, on Sunday afternoon. By the time it was halftime on that Sunday night game, we knew Kareem Hunt was coming in the building.
That's that great GM Joe Shane.
Yeah.
We knew Kareem Hunt was coming in the building. They signed him today, by the way.
That part.
So, anywho, Larry, man, week 2 has come and gone. I know your boys got, the rod in the stick on Sunday, losing to Sam Darnold. But talk to me, how you feel, man?
We ain't won in Minnesota in like 8, 9 years, 10 years.
That makes sense.
I didn't not expect that. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it happens. I mean, I'll be honest with you, this weekend was just a weird weekend all around. A lot of teams that we didn't anticipate. Who would have thought the Oakland Raiders would have came back and beat the Ravens? Like nobody expected, a lot of those things. The more frustrating part to me going into week 2, and we've all heard numerous former players say it. And I remember I was sitting on the show. I was critical of the way that the NFLPA handled their CBA. They literally didn't even want to open up the books for money because they did not want to practice. They did not want, to practice in pads. They wanted less, preseason games. It's showing up. You have to condition your body for running at full speed. Tackling a man at full speed. Your offensive line got to get used to, hey, what are the audibles we're calling? The cadence of the quarterback. Oh, they did change a new rule that you can't line up that far back. The penalties have been crazy. It's not even just watching your own team. Is literally getting frustrating watching a game and it's like penalty. And then now we going into, week 3 and it's like, this guy's hurt, that guy's hurt, this guy's hurt, this guy's hurt. And, I love Stephon Bell, and Stephon Bell always says it. When you don't condition your body to this, it's soft tissue issue, is hamstrings, calves, and it's just, it's making me kind of pissed off because, and I know your perspective on it. My thing is, work all this stuff out in the preseason. I don't want to see games that actually count, that guys aren't playing, that stupid penalties are costing people games. I don't want to see that in the regular season. You work all those kinks out in preseason. That's what it's for. And I get it. They're like, no, there's more value in these joint practices. No, the hell it ain't. And this ain't year 1 that we're seeing all this. This is like several years. We keep seeing the same thing over and over again. We've all said it. If you see the same thing over and over again, then it's time that we change it.
But Larry, remember, they can write equality in the end zone.
Yeah. But I'm literally, this is crazy. And I get it, Chandler. You don't really care about the fantasy football aspects of it. But literally, look at this list of star players that we literally will not see playing
for weeks.
I
mean, I got Pacheco and I got Cooper Kupp in one league. Those are my top. Those are my top two, my 2 and my 3 pick.
And if you look at the list, the only one that was injured in the preseason was Hollywood Brown.
Yep.
Which is crazy. And I'm like, you know what? Maybe you guys do need to go back to the old way of actually playing in preseason games. Actually,
and they're not going to do it, Larry, because they're trying to add another 18th game that's official in the league, right?
I mean, but even if they don't go back,
they don't want to play 17 full games, so they're going to back out of preseason to not if they have to play 17 full games, and it's just going to get worse.
Well, even if they don't, I'm gonna put it like this: put on the pads. I get it. The first couple of days back in, you work yourself back. No pads, but put on the pads. Like they literally practice one day, I think, a week now in pads.
Yep.
And you're expected to go play in pads, and your body is taking hits and running and cutting and jumping and everything else. Like it's I love the game, but this is starting to get ridiculous. Like the NFL, you guys put more time into fixing a kickoff than you did fixing this.
Yeah.
Like it's that part. I hate to say it. My Niners, we're playing the Rams, and I actually want to see the Rams with Puka and Cooper Kupp. Who the hell is Matthew Stafford gonna throw to?
Robinson or somebody?
Robinson, who I got off the waiver wire.
Yeah,
I
put a waiver wire bid today.
That takes away from the game. You know, you don't want to see games with the backup players. I hate to say it like that, but you want to see the stars. You don't want to see, you know, a team come in and you're like, oh yeah, they lost, but they didn't have this person and that person and this person. Like it doesn't make me, you know, feel any better. Now, Chandler, you did hit on the Niners. I will say this about the Niners. You'll see who Brock is.
Yeah.
I think Kyle's going to game script according to the players that he have. But if you guys weren't watching the Super Bowl, and I know you might not watch the Niners as much as I do, Jawan Jennings is a good-ass receiver.
Yeah, he is.
They restricted him for a reason. And they re-signed him for a reason. Like, so you're going to see Jawan and what Jawan can do. Now, he doesn't have the versatility as a Debo, so like I said, the game script is going to be different. But I think that, you know, they'll have enough talent to kind of beat the Rams, especially with the Rams hurting so much, because their D-line is just decimated. Their secondary is almost as decimated as their receivers are. So, you know, of course, it's every given Sunday, but, you know, it's we're going to see what's happening. But Jawan Jennings is a damn good receiver.
He's a football player. He's a football player. What I like about him is that he blocks. He gets in there.
He runs hard. He runs tough.
Yeah, if you need a down the field block, a stock block, he's the guy that's going to get it for you out of those receivers. And they all do block. Don't get me wrong, but I always see him getting his nose in it. So he's
because he's a big guy. He's a big physical guy, and he loves sticking his nose in there. So it's like on that team, you got to do something because I mean. In a perfect world, you got Debo, you got McCaffrey, you got, you know, Ayuk. So it's like he got to do something to earn his medal. And yeah, he's one of the best like blocking receivers in the league because he's just so physical. He just with them running the ball a lot. He just like he gets in there and blocks a lot.
People talk a lot about Kyle, but if you don't block on that team, you don't play.
This is where Pearsall is going to be missed, though. This is a game where they're going to miss Pearsall.
Yeah, definitely a game where they're going to miss Pearsall, yes.
The elephant in the room for me, though, honestly, is the Saints scored 90 plus points the first 2 weeks. Yeah, David Carr is, you know, give me my respect.
I'm not going to put too much faith in them because
no, you don't have to. But it is what it's already on paper. It's done. They did it. They 2-0, like 2 games that nobody thought they would win. 2-0, put the beat down on the road in Dallas.
I ain't gonna say that because you know why I'm gonna say that. Chandler hates me bringing it up, but y'all know who New Orleans' OC is.
Clint Kubiak.
Remember what I told you? You cannot stop that zone blocking running. What do you do to neutralize Michael Parsons? You run at him. What do you do to destroy that Dallas defense? You run at them. And you run that zone blocking. The same thing Green Bay did to them. Same thing the 49ers did to them. The same thing New Orleans just did to them. Yes, that's how you beat Dallas.
Yeah, and I say it, and I said it before on this show, and I'll say it again. Micah Parsons is a good football player. Micah Parsons is overrated. I'm sorry. I don't give a damn if everybody thinks I'm just being a giant hater. I've seen enough where this guy wrecks a game when their team is up 3-4 touchdowns. He don't wreck a game when you need him to. You run right at that guy. He's an undersized linebacker. He's an undersized lineman, and a too small of a linebacker doesn't have the skills to be a real linebacker, a 2-point stance guy. So you run right at him, you're done. How do you neutralize one of the best cornerbacks in the league? You run the football. That's Tay Diggs cannot cut half of the field in half in the run game. You run right at that defense. And guess what? The Saints have always owned the Cowboys for the last few years. They've always owned that team. Why? Because Kamara can in that line on both sides, the defense and the offensive line is physical with that Cowboys team and beats them up. So the Saints did what they have to do. Now they're at home against a Philadelphia team that needs a win. The Saints in that game is going to be an interesting game. The Saints might, you know, they could take that game.
That Philly defense looking real suspect again.
They got no pass rush.
No pass rush.
And we were talking about how great of a job Roseman did building that line, rebuilding that line, and retooling that defense through the draft last year, the year before, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't see any fruits of that labor. I don't see anything coming out of that.
Yeah, Cousins had plenty of time to throw. Like
you're talking about
like he was just sitting back there, and you saw it really on that last drive. Was just like there was just
they couldn't get any pressure.
They even mentioned it on the call. It was like it's just like Cousins just had all the time in the world to sit back there and just you know.
But you know what? This looks a lot like that Dolphins defense, and now you see why the Dolphins players were complaining about. Vic Fangio was a really, really, really good defensive coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
he is not willing to change to meet the new offensive schemes, and his defense is beatable now because you know what he's going to run, and he's literally being out schemed.
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, I'll say this, Barry, and I want to just touch on it. We talk about organizations failing players. I'm a Dallas Cowboy hater, but I will say this, and I try to tell these Cowboys fans that when you have a talent, and I get it, Micah has his weaknesses, but they also got DeMarcus Lawrence.
Mm-hmm.
You know what you do when you got 2-star pass rushers like that? You get the two biggest non-pass rushing, run-stuffing details, and you get the biggest linebacker who can come down the field and stuff the run, and you just let them two wreak havoc.
Yep,
that's what you do.
Mm-hmm.
Jerry Jones failed because he refused. He didn't even remember. They didn't even draft a D tackle.
They did, but it's not the right one.
In the draft.
They did. Yeah. They did in the first round last year, and it wasn't the right guy.
No.
Like, can you imagine if Dexter Lawrence was in the middle of that defense?
Exactly.
Can you imagine?
Dude, which guy was a free agent? Calais Campbell. He just signed with the Dolphins.
Miami.
Yeah, that's right.
What is he known for? Stuffing the run.
Yeah,
he'll get some pass rush too, but he gonna stuff that run.
So it's been 3 years that you've had a problem stopping the run with these guys, and you haven't addressed it. That's your problem.
Yeah, I mean, you need that big guy in the middle, because like serious know what I'm talking about here is like those Steelers defenses, like they were amazing. And you know who my favorite player was on some of those teams? Casey
Hampton.
Hampton was one of the best I've ever seen. And just like, look, you need two people for Casey Hampton. You do. Yep. You know what I'm saying? And then that allowed Farrier and all those guys to like run around and cause havoc, because Casey Hampton was taking up two people on the line.
I mean,
those linebackers.
Vince Wilfork,
Haloti Ngata. You know what I'm saying? With the Ravens. You had to have two people on Ngata, and that allowed Ray Lewis and all them, and to run around and do what they want to do. And then if you go back like Siragusa, Tony Siragusa was not the best football player, but man, when Goose was out there, you had to have two people on him.
You can't run it
because he was just taking up space.
That allowed Ray Lewis to go unabated anywhere he wanted to go. Anywhere he wanted to go. But the other problem to me, in what we have to talk about before we get out of here, Tua has to retire.
I'm glad you brought that up, because
he's not going to.
He's not going to, Unc, and I wish to God somebody talks to him. And
you know what? Can I just say
scary.
that? Go ahead. That whole thing made me sad.
It made me sad too.
Because I was sitting in here crying because I know what my life is like right now. And I know what I can't do anymore. And I know the things that I've had to give up. Like I told you guys, I had to take my stove out of my apartment. Okay, because I can't be trusted to cook on a stove. This kid doesn't understand what he's doing to his brain. He doesn't understand down the line what it's going to cost him. That's the part that makes me sad. Is I understand what it is to be able to do something nobody else can do. I left the service, man. I've been lost since I left the service. I used to be somebody. I used to matter. I used to be part of something. And now I understand why these guys are, because what do you do then? What do you do then? You resent people who have families and they have things and they have these connections, and you don't have that connection anymore. And I get that it sucks and I get that it's hard, but he needs to make a decision that's in his family's best interest, not in his. But y'all go ahead.
Oh yeah.
No, I mean, honestly, you hit the nail on the head, bro.
I mean, there's really not a whole lot to say after that. It's just like you said. It's like, what do guys say they miss the most about the locker room? They miss being in there with the guys and the camaraderie and the brotherhood. And and I'm not saying this to be funny. I mean, this is not a funny topic. I remember like when Tua took off running, I was like, Tua, what are you doing? I was like, no, slide, Tua, and he didn't. And I just think if he does come back, I mean, it is his right as a grown man. If he feels like he wants to come back, and like I said, this is not a joke. I'm serious. I'm 100% serious. You can't make him, but I think Tua should think about wearing a Guardian cap if he comes back.
Yeah.
He comes back.
I would not
let him come back unless he was wearing a Guardian cap.
Absolutely, you're not coming back if you're not wearing that cap. I don't care how it looks. You're not doing it, and I agree with Unc. He couldn't said it any better. Serious in coach when he went down and his hands went up. I cringe, and it's like when you saw it in that you saw him do it in the Bengals game.
Mm-hmm.
That was one thing, and then when you saw that he didn't have that concussion and he was stumbling around in the which game? I can't remember the team.
Buffalo. It was Buffalo.
Buffalo game.
Right. Mm-hmm. But they said it wasn't a concussion, but everybody in the stadium knew it was something wrong. But just to see that, and it's just like at this point, you just have to take the decision out of his hands.
Yeah.
And I think this is where the organization has to do what's right for him. Like everybody right now is saying the politically correct thing. Well, we're going to observe and seek more advice and yada yada yada, whatever. But we have on film this man in the fencing position 3 out of the last 4 times he's been concussed. The 4th time, one of the times he was wobbly enough that Stevie Wonder could have diagnosed that. So if he's getting in the fencing position and he missed all of last year, 2 years ago, based off of the concussions, this and the third, first and foremost, the Miami Dolphins have to step in and save him from himself. I understand where Chandler's coming from. You know what I'm saying? You've been playing football your whole career. You've reached the pinnacle of your profession. So what are you going to do now, man? Are you going to sit at home and be a homemaker, or are you going to do TV or whatever the case may be? You don't have the answers to those questions. But what you do have currently is the ability to have a cognitive thought to make said decisions. Okay? Here's the thing. He plays football. The likelihood of him being hit again is 100%.
Yep.
Okay? What's going to happen the next time he gets hit? Because let's keep it a buck. It's a running joke. It's a bad joke, but it's a running joke when people talk about Tua Tagovailoa. Is he going to make it through this week? Is he going to be able to make it through this week? And the Miami Dolphins can no longer, in my opinion, play up to their potential in limbo with such a pivotal part of the franchise. F the franchise for a second, a pivotal person. He's a husband. He's a father. I know the family personally. His baby brother went to Maryland.
Right.
I'm up there every other weekend. So, like, for me, this, I mean, I'm heartbroken at what I've seen, and I'm also equally as heartbroken at the fact that the Miami Dolphins and his family is not making this decision for him, because, to Chandler's point, it's a hard decision to make. Like, I'm sure Chandler didn't want to give up his stove. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure he didn't, but it was a decision that he and the people around him had to make to better himself and to make sure that he's here another day. Tomorrow's not promised. Okay, I'm not gonna start preaching here because y'all know my background, but tomorrow's not promised. And this brother has had 3 brain injuries in the span of a year.
3 injuries that they've called. 4.
Yeah.
You want to get 4. Right?
4 injuries in the span of a year.
+1 in college.
+1 in college.
Correct.
I was about to say that.
The one in college, yeah.
So that's 5. That's 5 that we know of.
In at least 5 years.
Yeah. Nah, bro.
5 years, right? So,
And you can't rehab a brain injury.
No, you can't.
You can't go to the gym and you can't go like stretch it out, and you can't do that with a brain injury, man. It's just like
it's scary.
Yeah,
it's scary. Like I echo what Chandler said, because I played high school football, and after my senior year, I had got my last game, I had got hurt, ripped up my knee, and then it was over. Right, I couldn't play anymore, and I wasn't going to play at college because I wasn't getting recruited. At that point, I didn't want to walk on anywhere, and it just was like it was over, and I didn't know what to do with myself. And I was depressed the rest of my senior year because I ripped me up. The sport that I was a captain, conference player, whatever, gone, taken away. And I know what he's going through. You don't want to go through that feeling. But God, man, you got a whole life to live. There's so many other things to do with your life. It's easy to say, "Oh, go be a commentator. Go on NFL Network and do those shows. Get a podcast." It's different, I know, but God, man, it's so much more you can do, man.
Yeah, if the NFLPA was serious about protecting their members,
thank you.
This is where you go to the NFL. And you add a provision in the CBA for there's a word I'm looking for.
Just like an injury clause or something.
I'll say unusual circumstances. Circumstances like this, where basically the team and the NFLPA can say, listen, you're not playing anymore. You're gonna get your guaranteed money, but we're not, and you don't penalize the team with the cap space hit. So everybody wins. Okay. The player gets to walk away, they got their money. The team has a salary cap space to replace them. I don't want to say exigent, but I'll just say unusual circumstances. Let's just not like for everybody, but for specific situations like this, you make a provision where basically you say to the player, listen, here's your check. You can't play anymore. Okay. But you don't penalize the team, but you allow the player to have his money because that's like $140 some odd million he's got coming guaranteed. So, and if he retires, he has to give it back. It turns into a whole thing. But if you truly wanted to protect players, you would create that right now because that gives him an out. That that takes it away from him, and he can be angry and everything else. But you know what? In 5 years or so, he may look back and say, it's the best thing ever happened to me.
Yeah. And I think honestly, to your point, Chandler, I think that's the reason why he's so wishy-washy with it currently, because he's looking at, I got 170 some odd million. I got a family, to look after, and I got things I need to do. So, why the hell not? But like, bruh,
but how can you take care of your family if you're not here? You're not gonna lose.
They're gonna be taking care of you
and stuff like that. It's just like it's just like he needs to start planning for life after football right now. So he's going to be out at least these next 4 weeks, and he needs to have some tough conversations with his friends and family and his team about what, maybe I need to start thinking about my life after football. And like I said earlier, when he comes back, I don't care how mad he would be, whatever. One of the conditions of him coming back is like, Tua, we need to get you fitted for one of these Guardian caps.
Yep.
You need to do what you want to do. Yeah.
Because one of the Steeler linemen wears it, right? Sirius?
Dan Moore.
Yeah.
It's
Jabril Peppers from the Patriots wears one. Like more and more players are. Look, it's not aesthetically pleasing.
Nope.
Okay,
I don't care, but we can't see your face anyway.
It serves a purpose.
And imagine
it's like so it's like whatever. Who cares? It's like if I was a professional football player, I probably would be wearing a Guardian cap because it's like you have to think about life after football. And it's like, we say this all the time. We use the term gladiator, warrior. No, these guys are human beings. They have families.
Yeah.
They have people who love them. We love them because they wear the jersey of the team that we like to play, root for. But they have people who love them outside of that. Yeah. And sometimes you have to separate yourself from that. And I hope that Tua while I hope he's also recovering and like again, he's grown, he can do what he want to do. It's like he needs to have some conversations with his team and his people about like, okay, moving forward, what are we gonna do moving forward? Because again,
and what if it was anybody but DeMar Hamlin?
Yeah.
Think about that.
That was the other part too, right?
If it had been somebody who was truly trying to wreck him, because DeMar Hamlin did not hit him, he caught him.
Yeah.
Okay, if you look at that play, DeMar Hamlin basically did this, and this is what I know from having had so many concussions. They get easier. Every time my head gets jarred, I have a concussion now. Okay, I lose time. I lose a lot of things every time my head gets jarred now. From something as simple, if I fall and I fall in here, I may lose 3 days. Like I don't remember 3 fucking days.
Yeah.
Okay, and it can be something as simple as me slipping against my bed now, and my head just gets rocked. If it had been anybody but DeMar Hamlin going at him when he lowered his head, think about how much worse that could have been.
Yeah. 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 I honestly, man, like, yeah. Wow. Larry, talk to me, man. Where's your head at?
Oh man, I'm gonna get in here real quick, and don't get mad at me what I'm about to say. You know what organization fails quarterbacks? We talked about failing quarterbacks. Organizations failing quarterbacks, right? Did you watch Hard Knocks?
No, I don't watch those.
I didn't get a chance to watch.
You know what they taught Caleb Williams? Slip and slide. Get down. He does get sacked, but when he's running, you know what he does?
He slides.
He slides. He gets down. You know what they did to Tua? They had him take MMA to learn how to fall better.
Yeah.
They did not teach him to slide, get down. They even said if he would have slid, he would not have hit his head into DeMar Hamlin. If he had slid.
The hit to DeMar Hamlin wasn't the concussion. It was when he fell back and hit his head on the ground. That's
but if he would have slid, that would have never happened. If he would have probably slid. Facts. If you watch, and I get it, his background is different. If you watch Kyler Murray, nobody's around, Kyler Murray will dive. When people get close to him,
he slides.
He has a baseball background, so he's
a baseball player.
He's used to it. But you can't tell me that the Dolphins couldn't have said Tua, instead of having you go with these MMA players, we'll get these baseball players to teach you how to slide, how to properly slide. We could have brought Kyler. Hey, these quarterbacks, they train together. Come in and we'll teach you how to slide. But Chandler, when I look at, like Caleb, and I think it's more so the coaching. Ryan Pace is doing an amazing job, and as a GM, all you can do is put the pieces on the field. You can't you can't call the plays, and you can't make them, do anything past that, right? Ryan Pace has actually put draft capital into that line. Now, have they been panning out? No.
Nope.
And this is where I'm going with this story, right? They teaching him how to slide in the preseason. Do you not know, since Tua has been drafted, the Dolphins have literally drafted 3 offensive linemen and 6 wide receivers.
Yeah.
They literally have not drafted anyone to protect him, and not even on top of that, they traded Tunsil to the Texans, who's literally leading the league in pass blocking.
Yeah.
That's how you fail your quarterback. They say, we need to get 2 or more weapons, and nobody thinks, we might want to protect him. We're getting him all these weapons. They're like, 6 running backs deep. They literally just drafted Jalen Hyatt, and they already had A-Chain and Mossert and Jeff Wilson. Tua needs another running back. No, you know who keeps your quarterback from having a scramble? Your offensive lineman. You know who gives him the time to say, okay, you know what? Maybe I should just throw it away. The offensive lineman. You know what? If he decides to scramble, you know who gets their big asses up and run down the field with him and block somebody? Your offensive lineman.
Mm-hmm.
So, Chandler, when you say you fell in the team, the organization failed to me more than anything because they should have had him learning how to slide. They should have gave him more protection to protect his ass. Like that's like with the Bryce Young thing. Bryce Young is a small quarterback. He cannot see over the line like that. Nope. You don't run 3-step dropbacks with that type of quarterback.
No, yeah.
You run. The one thing about I was never a Drew Brees fan, but the one thing about the Saints, they had big, huge line, and they did 7-8 step dropbacks. They did play action rolls with him. He was never really in the pocket.
Mm-hmm.
And this is how you have a small quarterback and them to be able to play in the league.
Look what they're doing in Washington. Jaden Daniels weighs 90 pounds soaking wet. But what are they doing? They roll in the pocket, getting the ball out of his hands, they throwing screens, all those things.
Too. You gotta throw quick screens, you gotta throw quick passes, get the ball out of his hand. They're not doing that with Bryce. They're actually making Bryce stay in the pocket, sit back there, and that line is atrocious.
It's not even just the line, too, Larry. It's the line's awful. They have no receivers, they have no running backs, and they have no game plan. They are setting this kid up to fail.
Yeah,
and somebody said it to me today at work. My boss said, "Trade Bryce Young to the Dolphins."
Yeah,
they probably so they could get him killed too.
Yeah, they can get him killed.
Yeah.
But get him out of. Bryce Young is not that bad.
He's not
that bad.
No, he didn't all of a sudden stink. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's all of a sudden like I don't like the narrative like all of a sudden he's no good anymore. It's just like, but you know what? I'm gonna say this and then I'm done with it. It's like you can't fire the owner in Charlotte.
There you go.
Okay.
The problem with Bryce Young
is probably one of the biggest issues in Charlotte. You cannot fire the owner.
Mm-hmm.
But the biggest thing that the problem with Bryce Young, that his problem is he's not CJ. And that's been the whole thing.
You saw me post it on Facebook. It's like they want him to be C.J. Stroud so bad. Instead of making him the best Bryce Young,
right?
They're too concerned with him trying to make him into C.J. Stroud. What we're seeing with C.J. Stroud, we might be seeing the start of a very special career with C.J. Stroud.
Mm-hmm.
And that's that. But it's like to constantly, try to compare Bryce Young to CJ Stroud is doing the kid a disservice. It's like make him the best Bryce Young instead of trying to make him CJ Stroud.
But hell, Tennessee could use Bryce Young right now. You put Bryce Young in Tennessee instead of Will Levis. That'd be a good thing.
When you got a quarterback like that, though, you don't go sign a Miles Sanders for $40 million as a running back. You get him more offensive line help. This is
a couple of receivers.
Damn the receivers, keep him upright. Keep him with that.
But you trade all your draft capital. You trade DJ Moore. Trade. It's like these are the things that the Carolina Panthers are doing because you look at I just got through rewatching the Bengals and Chiefs game here, right in the room here. You know what? Patrick Mahomes was running for his life in that Super Bowl. So you know what he said? He's like, you know what? I will take less money. Fix this damn line.
And they went and signed every offensive lineman available, drafted offensive linemen. People didn't even know who their receivers were going to be any good, but we knew that line was going to be good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I hate to say it, if you somebody like a Tua, and I get it, regardless of whatever was going on at that time, you got an Armstead and a Tunsil on that line. Maybe he's protected a little bit more. Maybe you don't have to run as much as he was running. And when I look at it, I look at it from that standpoint, and we've seen this time and time again. These teams, they get these quarterbacks, and they like, they got pinpoint accuracy. They can throw it down the field. They can do all this stuff. We need to get him more weapons. He needs more receivers. He needs more running backs. And they like, damn the offensive line. We don't need nobody needs to block. And we all know for a fact, regardless. From the time football was played 100 years ago to the time right now, you know who the teams that win. That's why I love John Lynch. John Lynch don't give a damn. He's going to address that defensive line and that offensive line. He don't give a damn. look, you're gonna see somebody get drafted, and like I can't pronounce his name right. Putini, the guy we drafted from was BYU. He's been playing good on that 49er line. He's been shoring up that guard, but the teams that, if you notice, the teams that have always been successful year in, year out have been the teams that address the offensive line.
Look at Mekhi Becton, right? The Jets couldn't figure out how to use Mekhi Becton. He goes to Philly, and I said this a year ago. Mekhi Becton is a guard. He was never a tackle because his knees are too stiff and he can't really bend at the hips. If you put him at guard, right? And how's he working out in Philly? He's playing a damn good guard.
He's going to be a Pro Bowler.
Yeah, he's going to be Pro Bowl. He's playing all Pro guard right now, and it's beautiful to see. But it's like, again, like you said, it's the front offices, not putting players in right positions, So.
Yeah, I mean, say what we want about how bad the Giants are right now, 0-2. Like last week, they had a pretty solid game. Between the first two games, the offensive line has been one of the better offensive lines in the league.
Yeah.
Like, let's be honest. Like, and that's the difference. Like, Daniel Jones is still a dumpster fire, but I think he got sacked once on Sunday. That's makes a difference.
That's because Commanders' defense is some trash. But
he'll be healthy.
Well, they still have a decent defensive line. They still have
the defensive line. They can get after the quarterback. They still have a decent defensive line.
Exactly. So I mean, Singletary had 90-something yards, about the same amount of yards rushing as Saquon Barkley did. What's the difference? Saquon Barkley's running behind a damn good line, and it's so much easier for him to hit the hole. He was ripping off
probably
10
the
yards
best
to
line
carry.
in the league.
Yeah, he was ripping off 10 yards to carry the first half, right? The Giants, they're just able to, at the point of attack, control the offensive side of the ball, the line of scrimmage. It makes a difference.
It makes a big difference.
If you gave Bryce Young any amount of time, no matter who he's throwing to, he's going to be a better quarterback.
Yes.
Just off the rip. And this kid, like I said, he's not a bad quarterback.
He's
in a bad situation. This kid, coach is 1,000% right. He doesn't go from being a Heisman Trophy winner, a damn good college quarterback, to all of a sudden this guy's trash. He's the biggest bust we ever seen. Get the hell out of here.
But he was playing behind. I refuse to believe that. Playing behind 8 5-stars on his offensive line and 10 first-round draft picks, and I'll even go further. If you guys have looked at any of my Texans posts, I've always been critical of them drafting Titus Howard that damn early. Titus Howard was literally a bust. That dude literally could not play. The best thing that happened to him was that he got DeMeco Ryans, and Chandler, don't kill me, but the zone blocking, him just getting to the spot, has saved his career. And if you watch any of the Texans games, you know what they do in pass protection? They rotate the protection around to him to help him out, to keep CJ upright, because we already know, Tunsil, you got the left side. Hey, you hold the fort down. We'll rotate that protection over. We'll keep CJ upright. And that's what you do to keep your quarterbacks from having concussions.
That's what good organizations do is they say, okay, this is what you do well. So this is what we're going to have you do well. We're not going to ask you to be something you're not. It's not that hard. It's really not that hard. And anybody that's in any leadership position. And this is why I'm always critical of these coaches, not because I think I know football more than them. I know leadership. The best leaders put you in a position to be successful. It's not about them knowing. I don't need to know your job in order to lead you. I need to know how to manage you and be able to identify your strengths and say, this is what you're good at. There you go, bro. And then you make me look like a genius. I may not know a damn thing about what you do, right? But if I make you successful, don't I look good? Don't people want to pay me more money? Don't they want to? You understand? It's not that hard. But these coaches refuse. They refuse to take their ego out of it.
Well, it's some of the GM too. It's some of the GM too, because like I said,
the GMs especially.
It's no way in the world that you got Tariq. That Miami, I ain't gonna lie, that Miami offense is potent. It's no way in the world you're gonna tell me that you got that many weapons on that offense and you literally have put 3 and it's only one that was even in the second round. You've only put 3 draft picks into addressing that offensive line.
And you have no backup quarterback.
Pro Bowl, and you traded away a Pro Bowl tackle.
Yeah, and you have no backup quarterback.
Yeah, why isn't Tannehill in Miami right now trying out?
They just signed Tyler Huntley.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, well, I mean,
hey,
I hate to say it, but I mean, look, that's
Tyler know how to win.
It's like he'll just go down. I mean, I don't know. It's just scheme and talent. You combine them together, and then that's how you get success. And you see teams like the Panthers. You see teams like, now look, I'm gonna bring up a name that we haven't brought up, but like Trevor Lawrence.
Oh God.
Down in Jacksonville. It's like, you know what? I don't want to talk about Trevor Lawrence right now. Let's wait a couple weeks down the line. I had a discussion about Trevor Lawrence because, like, the Texans, after 2 weeks, have a 2-game lead on every team in the division in the AFC South. Yeah. And the Jaguars, who I admit, like, I expected more out of the Jaguars. And I feel like Trevor Lawrence is kind of like floating, kind of by whatever, just because of what we want him to be. What he showed. He has shown some, but it's just like I said, I want to wait a couple weeks until we get in depth about Trevor Lawrence.
He keeps getting the pass because of Urban Meyer, and everybody keeps claiming that Doug Peterson is such a great coach. Doug Peterson might be a really good offensive coordinator. I don't think Doug Peterson is a good coach. Personally.
Yeah, but they've stripped that team down. They've taken
name one of his receivers.
That's what I'm saying.
You
have Calvin Ridley, who you traded for. You let him walk.
Ryan Robinson Jr. They just drafted one this past year.
Mm-hmm. I'm just saying, you don't know what you're going to get from him. And like that organization is failing Trevor Lawrence. I hate to say it.
Yeah, but and that's what I'm saying. It's like, you know what? Again, you have this talent. You have this guy who has been anointed since he was a sophomore in high school, and you aren't doing things like, again. I love what the Jaguars are doing. Yeah, please don't improve your team. Because it's like, and Barry and Aaron know what I'm talking about. It's like, what, the Jaguars are more concerned with their wrestling promotion than the football team. So they put as much energy into their wrestling promotion as a football team, then the Jaguars would probably be a little bit better, but that's a different discussion for a different day. But
that defense has gotten worse every year.
It's gotten worse. Yeah. Like
it was a top 5 defense, coach, and it's worse
because they don't want to pay anybody. Shad Khan don't want to pay anybody.
Thank you.
Well, yeah, because he got to pay Brian Danielson and he got to pay Moxley. He got to pay, he got to, Okada. He got to pay these guys. You guys make a lot of money. Yeah,
like I say, every
Strickland just got a whole bunch of, he got to pay. Can Swerve Strickland play left tackle? Nope. Because
they don't want to pay. But they fell in Trevor Lawrence, and I hate to say, up until the Brian Thomas, you couldn't name one of the receivers except for Calvin Ridley, and Calvin Ridley actually wanted to stay. They let him go for peanuts.
Yeah,
they gave Christian Kirk $80 million.
Yeah,
$80 million.
Christian Kirk, who probably wouldn't even be a third string on most of the teams.
He wasn't even drafted in most fantasy leagues, and this guy's got $80 million on his name. Make it make sense.
No, it don't make no sense. They refuse to. Now that's one team I will say that they are refusing to give that guy some weapons. Give him some weapons. Like, actually, if you watch any of their games, like Trevor Etienne, he's a beast, but he's running for his life every day. They're not opening no field. He's running for his life.
I will say this though. They got a game Monday night versus Buffalo.
Oh, they're gonna get run off the field.
Yeah,
they're gonna get run off the field.
Yeah.
I need to see something from this Jacksonville Jaguars team, or it's a wrap.
That's a double-digit loss.
You're gonna see Allen and Cooks like run all over this team.
Yeah,
the Buffalo Bills have kind of flipped their identity a little bit, and they've embraced the run game, which I absolutely love. And I am so glad Cooks is getting some burn at running back. They think Allen's the best running back. No, Cooks can run his behind off.
Oh yeah,
and he's a beast. They finally trusted him with the ball last year. He came through in the playoffs. They didn't win obviously, but he's here. I think he's one of the better running backs in the league. That defense, they just got to shore that up. Buffalo's going to beat the brakes off of Jacksonville.
Yeah, but Buffalo actually has put some draft stock into keeping Allen upright, and they drafted tight ends.
Well, yeah.
It's
crazy, right? It's like you have this generational talent at quarterback, and let's protect him and put weapons around him, and let's do whatever.
But the right weapons, right?
You know, the right weapons. It's like it's like look, as a former lineman, it's like a lineman can be a weapon. A lineman is a key tool to the success of a quarterback, and what you have is, again, you have teams like Jacksonville who are just saying, okay, Trevor, go be special. And then, like we're talking about, we have teams like the Bills who are like, okay, Josh is special, and we have to do things. We have to surround this special talent with other special talent.
But they also changed the system.
The Martian hit a home run.
I saw that. They also changed the system to protect him, because what are they doing now? They're not dropping him back 40 times a game.
Exactly.
Now
they've embraced that Patriots offense: 2 tight ends, 1 running back.
But I will say this though, Josh Allen, he has time back there too. They're blocking. He does drop back. He has time back there, and people, it's almost like the old saying: you forget about the meat and the potatoes. You ready to get to the dessert. You want all the other, you want the cheesecake, or you want the triple layer cake, but you forget about the meat and the potatoes. And Buffalo has the meat and potatoes. Trevor Lawrence, I hate to say it, but Josh Allen, he doesn't drop back as much. They are moving to the running game, but if you notice, watching even the run game, they're opening holes for Cooks
because linemen play better when they run block. They're more aggressive. They feel better. And if you just pass block all the time, you become passive and you start getting beat. When you let linemen run block, man, listen, it's okay. Oh yeah, now I got, I got my blood boiling. They got the snot and bubbles coming out. Now in that pass block, they still giving it instead of just receiving. But you got to run block to get that out of them.
Yeah, but you gotta get those players. You gotta get those players. You can't just say, "Oh, we're gonna just draft receivers and receivers and running backs," and we're not gonna even try to sign any of these free agent offensive linemen. We'll just, take it what it is. I mean, Barry, I hate to say it, but like you said, Daniel Jones has been stinking it up, but they did put a lot of free agent dollars into fixing that offensive line. I hate to say it now. The Giants have missed on some players, but they put a lot of draft stock into that.
At least they tried. At least they tried. They might have missed, but at least they tried.
They haven't developed them.
But you can't not try to develop your offensive line. Just like with Dallas' problem, you can't not address your defensive line.
And I think that's where the Eagles they addressed it. It was a problem last year. Yeah. Jason Kelsey came out tonight and said, last year, what do? You get Mekhi Becton, but you put him in the right position at guard. Now you got something going. You know what I mean? Now you're because where were the Eagles strong when they went to the Super Bowl? Right up the middle, center and guard. They had 2 good tackles, but center and guard. That's where they up the middle, and they lost that. Kelsey was like on an island by himself at center last year.
Bruce was stopping the tush push last year. The year before, you couldn't 1 yard. Oh, it's a wrap. This year, if you notice, they're back to doing it, and you ain't stopping it. No. But yeah, dude, like I say, I think to sum it up, I think that the organization failed Tua, and now at this point, what do? You make him wear the hat. You actually put him with people that teach him how to slide, but then you have to address the offensive line. It has to be drilled into his head. Tua, you don't run. If you run, it better be wide open and you run your ass out of bounds or you slide. You have to do that before. And I hate to say it like that, but if you watch Hard Knocks, they literally went a whole day just doing slip and slide. And if you notice, they was like, okay, this is part of practice from now on. We're going to address the slip and slide, getting down. And until Tua shows me that he can slide, he can protect himself, I wouldn't let him back on the field.
Yeah. Even if he's cleared, he has to show he can slide.
You got to show me he can do those things.
Yep. With that being said, gentlemen, I need to get you guys out of here, man. It's been a long show. Don't forget to text me your picks for the NFL side of things. With that being said, CK, man, it's been a pleasure having you back in the building, man. We miss you right here, man. Give me a plug and a color and shut it down, sir.
It's nice being back here. My head is killing me right now. Just everybody be safe and just everybody just stay safe. I can't even think right now. My head is hurting. That's all I got, man.
All right, my dude. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Yo, Coach, you know what to do, my guy. Give me a plug and a color and shut it down, sir.
All right, man. As we say often, if you see the link, share the link. We're everywhere. X, Facebook, Instagram, Spotify. Make sure you're downloading that and streaming that for your boys. You already know how I do it, man. God is good.
All the time.
All the time.
Water is life. Make sure you drink your water. Stay hydrated. And, of course, Wu-Tang is for the children. See y'all next week. Peace.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, my dude. Larry, man, another show up, another show down, my guy. Give me a plug and color and shut it down, sir.
Oh, man, I'm loving this, man. I don't know why Unc head hurting so much. He got a little peanut head, man. Ain't too much rattling around up in there. He all right. He better go. What's called? He be all right. But I'm glad to have him back, man. I love the energy he bring. Hopefully we'll get him back to being his normal self and, rile us up. We might need to punch a couple of triggers on him. But I'm gonna close it out like I started it. I'm gonna say, it's National Voter Registration Day. Hey, that's a big must. It's big, huge election. It's probably gonna be one of the biggest elections in our lifetime. Not telling anybody who to vote for, but just make sure you register and make sure that we get the vote out. Peace.
All right, my dude, man. I appreciate you, man. Villain, you know what to do, my guy, man. Shut us down. Let's get out of here.
I'll tell you to don't vote for Trump. I don't give a damn. I'll put my name on it soon. Listen. Great show. Love doing the show with y'all. Make sure Sirius gets my picks right. He knows I'm winning college football. He's just jealous. He always trying to change me, but he can't change it. I'm winning. I'm the champ. I'm coming with the belt next week. I'm putting the smackdown on all y'all clowns. Acknowledge me. I'm winning. The villain's out. Peace.
All right, my dude. Appreciate you, my guy, man. Yo, it's your boy Sirius repping that 412 and the 703, man. Again, it's such a privilege and a pleasure to be able to do this show with my guys every week, man. It's good to see CK back in the building. Hopefully next week, breaking news, Huge will be back with us, man. He has some stuff he had to take care of and wasn't able to join us, man. As everybody said, man, if you see the show, share the show, man. We are doing big things, man, and we're looking forward to taking a lot of people with us, man. Shout out to my friends over at Nonsense and Deep Thoughts, man. Looking forward to keeping partnership with them guys and doing some big things, wrestling wise with them here in the next couple of weeks, man. Myself, Villain, gonna pop over there and talk wrestle with them. So looking forward to that. Yeah, man. Football is here. Steelers are 2-0. And Villain sucks. With that being said, I'm gone. Peace.